Hello, everyone. Good morning. Just want to make sure I'm audible. If I could get a virtual thumbs up or yes in the chat box. Amazing. Lovely. Thank you so much. Lovely. Thank you. All right. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session on SoulSensei. We are so happy to have you here. While we wait for another minute till we have the other users join in, why don't you go to the chat box? Tell me where are you joining in from? Type out your city names out there. We would love to hear from you. So I'm Leolin, your moderator for today's session. I'm joining in from Mumbai. Along with me from my team is Vasvia. She's also from Mumbai. Lovely, you got people from Mumbai, Bangalore, Noida, Bangalore. My voice is a bit low. Okay. Can you just check your volume settings? Yes, perfect, lovely. Noida, amazing. New Delhi, Odisha, and amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So, can you tell me in one word? Let's make the session a bit more interesting. Can you tell me in one word? How has your day been from the time you've woken up till now? In one word, how has it been? It could be anything. It's a Saturday morning. It could be lazy. It could be uh, fun. It could be relaxing. Anything. Pragyaraj, relaxed, fresh, amazing. For some of us, it must be just starting our day, just waking up from bed. Active, relaxing, active, amazing. Every day is the best day of my life. Absolutely. Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing. So I'll just share the flow of today's session with you. We'll begin with a short introduction, followed by what our guide has to enlighten us with. After that, we'll open the space for Q&A. Feel free to drop in your questions in the chat box when asked. We'll try to answer as many questions as possible. And also request everyone to please keep yourselves on mute. Until and unless asked to unmute, that's when we will request you to unmute. So let's begin today's session, which is being led by our amazing SoulSensei Nithya Shanti, who is going to take us through a live Q&A session with reconnecting with ourselves. For those who don't know Nithya, he is an internationally acclaimed teacher of conscious living. In the year 2020, in the year 2002, he was ordained as a Buddhist monk and then went on to live as a forest meditation monk for 6 years. Since the year 2008, he has been sharing his learnings through retreats and courses with a wide variety of audience and institutions worldwide. His primary focus areas are attention, intention, and foundation, which supports people living with awareness, clarity, and deeper understanding of who they really are. So while I have my camera on now, can I request all of you out here to please turn on your cameras, as it will just make the session more interactive and valuable for yourself and for our leader. And also Nithya would know who he's interacting with. Please don't feel shy. Don't worry about your background, what you're wearing. It's absolutely fine. We're here as one safe community and you wouldn't be part of the recording. For those who've turned on your cameras, thank you so much. Please keep it on throughout the session. It just enlightens the entire scene of the session. For those who are new to SoulSensei, welcome. Our goal at SoulSensei is to make every session a safe, supportive space where you can ask freely, share openly, receive abundantly, and leave feeling lighter, calmer, and happier. You can follow us on Instagram at your SoulSensei, download the app, and even check out the website for upcoming sessions. With that said, I now hand over the space to you, Nithya, and I hope you all have a lovely session.
Thank you, Lionel, for a wonderful introduction and getting us started. So let me just get to the gallery view. I'd like to see everyone. Wonderful. All right. Namaste, the highest in me. Bows to the highest in you, the silence in you, the stillness in you. That in you, which is already the expert on your life. And so it is. And so it is. So I'd like to welcome you all. This session is a pretty agenda-less session, which is my favorite kind of session. So we don't really have a topic. And even though they've called it Q&A, it doesn't even have to be a Q&A. It can just be an interaction. And I requested the SoulSensei team to only invite those of you who have joined me earlier, who have joined some previous session of mine. So one or more sessions. And so very happy to reconnect with all of you. I'm not sure which session you had joined, but we'll probably find out as we interact. So I thought we'll just begin with a little something that just creates a little stillness and stability in our mind. And then from there, we'll open it up. I find that if you just jump into conversation, then usually sometimes the questions are very superficial. They're not coming from the real core, right? So we will get into an interactive phase very quickly, but let's just begin with something that's a little bit more um, bringing us to alignment. So your eyes can be open or closed. And I'd like you to just notice where you are and what you're feeling. Take in this moment. Take in all of this moment. Sometimes there's a tendency to focus on that which is not going the way we want. Or sometimes there's a tendency to focus on the next thing, what's going to happen next. Very rarely do we allow ourselves to be with this thing, this experience. One of the beautiful ways to come here is to feel into this question. Who am I without my stories? Who am I without all my stories? Your past is a story, collection of stories. Your imagination for your future is also a collection of stories. Even your concept about life right now, what's happening right now, that's also a story. So the powerful question is, who am I without all these stories? And this is known as the shift from history into mystery. Let me ask you a few more questions. Who are you without trying to hold on to some experience, recreate some experience, or push away some experience? So one more time. If you're not trying to hold on to some experience, and if you're not trying to recreate some experience, and if you're not trying to push away some experience, control some experience, now what happens? And all these ideas you've collected about yourself, your life, how you are as a person, how wonderful your life is, or how it's stuck or it's not flowing the way you expected. All these ideas you've collected for a few seconds, or maybe just a few moments. Who are you without these ideas? In other words, who are you without the images you have of yourself, for yourself? I was amazed when I discovered, I was reading a book on happiness. And they said for most people, happiness is determined by social comparison. What does it mean? So it's not so much what's happening to you, it's you comparing it with the people around you, with your classmates from school or college, with your neighbors, with your cousins, your brother, sister. That comparison is what determines how contented or discontented we are. What a fascinating thing. In other words, it's not at all objective, it's completely subjective. Compared to someone, you're very healthy. Compared to someone, you're very unhealthy. Compared to someone, you're super abundant, super knowledgeable. And compared to someone, nothing can be said. You haven't even begun. You haven't even scratched the surface of what's possible. So the question for you is, who are you without your social comparison? Suppose that just goes missing for a while. And not just in terms of worldly life and accomplishments, things you've done, things you've learned, how much you earn, which part of town you live in. But even in terms of spiritual understanding, spiritual accomplishments, we have a tendency to compare ourselves with people we imagine they're more kind, they're more mindful, they're more wise. Who are you without that comparison? We compare our inner qualities with other people's inner qualities. Suppose that's also gone. So in different ways, these questions are doing the same thing. They're pointing you back to your actual experience without getting caught up in the stories about your experience. Another way of saying this is it's a shift from ideating to pure functioning. What is ideating? Thoughts about this, that, or the other. And what is pure functioning? It's already happening. Cells are multiplying. Breath is happening. Some digestion is happening if you've eaten something. This is pure functioning. Doesn't require any effort. Doesn't require any intervention on your part. In this lifetime, there'll be many experiences. Some will be pleasant. Some will not be so pleasant. Some will be wanted. Some will be unwanted. And the role of the mind wants to maximize the pleasant, minimize the unpleasant, maximize the wanted, minimize the unwanted. And it's constantly up to that. It's constantly scheming, planning. That's what it does. That's the job of the mind. I want to introduce you to another dimension of your life, which sometimes gets overlooked. It's life as it is. In Hindi, we say, Jo hai, jaisa hai, vaisa hai. It is what it is, and that's the way it is. So this is a little different. This is not about feeling good. This is about getting good at feeling. One of my friends told me years ago, I really liked it when he told me this. He said, our feelings don't want to be fixed, they want to be felt. And then he said, our feelings don't want to be healed, they want to be held. So this phrase came up, fully feeling what I'm feeling is very healing. So this is a little different from what the mind wants to do. The mind wants to have more pleasant, less unpleasant, more wanted, less unwanted. But no matter how smart or intelligent we are, nobody in this world can manage that all the time. And that's very frustrating, very tiring. If you're tired, it's because you've been failing at this. You're not always able to get what you want. One way or the other, life gets frustrating. You try all the methods, it doesn't work. So what I want to offer you is the invitation, at least for the time we are speaking today, discussing today. Shift from the controller to the observer. Shift from fixing to trusting. Shift from wanting the next thing to wanting this thing, wanting what is. And it's okay if you fail, it's okay if you don't do this perfectly. The very process itself is meaningful. I want to end with one last question, then we'll open it up. Question goes like this. What if what you are looking for, what you are seeking, is not to be found in the world of experiences? What if what you are looking for, what you are seeking, is actually not meant to be found in the world of experiences? Would you be open to that possibility? This is a powerful question because almost what anybody is offering you is some kind of a better experience, better meal, better massage, more emotional safety, financial security, something or the other in the world of experiences. Very rarely do you hear a statement like this. Could it be that what you're actually seeking is not in the world of experiences? Then, of course, one of you will ask, but then where is it then? If it's not in the world of experiences, where is it? So then could it be that what you are looking for was not lost to begin with? You don't need to look for something that's not lost. You only need to look for something that is lost. It was never lost. We just didn't understand correctly. We just didn't notice completely. We got caught up in the reflections and we missed the essence. So you don't have to agree with what I've asked you or said to you. You don't have to disagree with it. Just be open to this possibility. Be quiet for another minute. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Take a deep breath. Welcome back. I'd like to invite some of you, if you'd like to say something, ask something. There's no fixed topic, like we said, for today. And it could also be something that you've been practicing since we've last met and something that you've been either benefiting from or you have some questions about. So it's not just limited to what we did right now. So with that, I'm opening it up. And whenever you're ready, you can raise your hand. And I think Lionel will unmute you. We can take the conversation forward.
We'll take one question at a time. So just request you to raise your hands, or you can go to the chat box, type put your questions from there. Also, we'll take your questions from there. Ruchi will just unmute you.
Good morning.
Hi,
I'm
Ruchi. Yes.
from Noida.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, same here. I have a question. If you don't mind, shall I say it in Hindi?
हाँ जरूर हिंदी में बोलिए।
थोड़ा लंबा हो जाएगा। मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है, हम लोग दो बातें करते हैं थ्योरी में, कर्मा एंड हमारे सोल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट। ओके, अगर सपोज ये आज मॉर्निंग में ही मेरे को आया था, अगर सपोज किसी का एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर है तो हम ये बोलते हैं वो अपना कर्मा खराब कर रहा है, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ हम ये भी बोलते हैं कि वो सोल कनेक्टेड है उस पार्टनर से जिनके साथ एक्स्ट्रा मैरिटल अफेयर है। तो कौन सी थ्योरी सही है? इट्स लाइक वी आर गेटिंग कंफ्यूज्ड कि सोल कनेक्शन सही है या कर्मा सही है, हम क्या चीज समझें? थैंक यू।
जब ऐसे प्रश्न आते हैं तो मैं पूछता हूँ कि इस प्रश्न के पीछे क्या प्रश्न है, मतलब क्यों हमें मालूम करना है कि ये कर्म है कि ये सोल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है?
क्योंकि ये
देखिए
मेरी
इस
स्टोरी
हाँ,
है, ये मेरी पर्सनल स्टोरी है, हस्बैंड का है, और एंड वी आर सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम लास्ट 10 इयर्स। तो एंड आई एम डीप इनटू द स्पिरिचुअल एंड आई एम रीडिंग बुक्स। सो शायद बुक्स रीड करने से ये क्वेश्चन मेरे मन में आया कि अगर ये सोल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उनका, देन ही इज नॉट क्रिएटिंग बैड कर्मा। बट कभी कभी लगता है कि ये बैड कर्मा है, तो हम मैं मतलब उस चीज को समझना चाहती हूँ।
हाँ जी, तो मैं आपको इनवाइट, रूमी की एक अच्छी वो कपलेट है, वो कहते हैं कि आउट बियॉन्ड आइडियाज of right doing and wrong doing, there is a field I'll meet you there. So हम लोग कहते हैं good karma, bad karma. Actually, it's just, the word karma, of course, just means action. And good and bad is all relative, isn't it? कौन सी
Yes.
चीज है जो हम सब लोग मान सकते हैं, इस कॉल पर भी मान सकते हैं कि ये तो सचमुच अच्छी चीज है, क्योंकि किसी किसी के लिए वो खराब, हम लोग बोलेंगे अच्छा डिजीज हटा दो पूरी दुनिया में, तो बड़ी अच्छी चीज है ये, तो फिर सारे मेडिकल स्टूडेंट बोलेंगे अरे हम 4 साल बता दिए, 5 साल बाद सारे डिजीज ही आपने हटा दी, बताओ हम जॉबलेस हो गए. All the doctors will suddenly get very upset with us, right? Take out
Yes.
all the wars, then everyone in the army and everyone, who's making weapons. In Pune, we have the ammunition factory. Thousands of people work in the ammunition factory. Suddenly they'll be jobless, right? So
Yes.
what is good, what is bad? It's very hard to say. You can't objectively say what is good and what is bad. और किसके लिए good, किसके लिए bad, वो बात हो जाती है. तो मेरे मेरे हिसाब से इन प्रश्नों का कोई एब्सोल्यूट आंसर, मैं तो इसलिए आप देखेंगे मैं इसके बारे में ज्यादा बात नहीं करता. आई डोंट टॉक अबाउट, once in a while I may use the word karma or dharma or whatever, but actually I don't really talk about things like karma, dharma, soul contract. I don't talk about those things because it's actually a big mystery. The real answer to your question is a mystery. And anyone who says, no, I've got the perfect answer for you, oh actually it's a soul contract, or actually it's a karma, I would hesitate to, listen to such people. But how do we know? How does anyone know what is what? In fact, in the Buddha talked about karma. But when his disciples would go very deep, there was one monk वो ध्यान कर रहे थे. तो बुद्ध भगवान ने पूछा क्या आप ध्यान कर रहे हो? मैं अपने पूर्व जन्म को समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. कितने 10 साल, 10 जन्म, 100 जन्म, 1000 जन्म, 1 लाख जन्म. तो बुद्ध भगवान कहते हैं रुक जाओ, क्यों कर रहे हो सब? नहीं मैं कर्मा समझना चाहता हूँ, किस कर्म की वजह से मैं क्या हुआ है और कैसा हुआ है. तो बुद्ध भगवान कहते हैं रुक जाओ, तुम पागल हो जाओगे, इसमें कुछ नहीं है. तो बुद्ध भगवान खुद जो कर्म की बात करते हैं वो खुद कह रहे हैं आप इसमें जाओ ही मत, या आप गलत जगह पे जा रहे हो. इट इज द रॉन्ग थिंग टू ट्राई टू फिगर आउट मैंने क्या किया, उसने क्या किया, उसका क्या हुआ. दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग इज गोना ड्राइव यू क्रेजी. सो आई एम गोइंग टू से रुचि, आपका नाम भी बड़ा अच्छा है रुचि, आपके इस प्रश्न में जो रुचि है वो आपको पागल कर देगी. छोड़ दीजिए, because there is no and even if I was to answer your question today, you will ask the same question to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, because it is painful. If you've had that experience and you're with your husband or whatever, it's a painful thing. The best thing I can tell you is marinate in that pain. What is marinate? Fully feeling what I'm feeling is very healing. उस दर्द के साथ आप रहिए, वो दर्द भी, वो कहते हैं ना, the purest gold goes through the hottest fire. तो उसमें भी कुछ है, कोई जो द राइट वेयर देयर इज सफरिंग, राइट देयर इज द एंडिंग ऑफ सफरिंग. तो जहां पर आपको वो दर्द हो रहा है ना, वो मुश्किल कठिनाई, वहीं पर उसका अंत वहीं पर है. इन प्रश्नों में नहीं, इन प्रश्नों में आप अलग भटक जाएंगे, कहीं और चले जाएंगे. And that is actually true. You said you're interested in spirituality. As far as I'm concerned, this is true spirituality. What you're asking is speculation. That is not spirituality. That is speculation. Because how can any answer I give you will just be a made-up answer. It cannot be a true answer. Right? Yeah, you got it. Thank you, Ruchi. Yeah, lovely.
All right,
Harsh has got his hand.
Harsh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
This is Harsh from Mumbai.
Yes.
I would like to know. I'm going through anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety
Yes.
disorder, and for
Yes.
that I consult one of your student Radha for EFT session, and I go to therapies and all. So just I want to know what lessons I'm avoiding in my healing journey. It's since 3 years I'm going through this anxiety disorder, and I face a lot of shivering and shaking in my hands and legs. And so what is that I am avoiding in my healing journey? What is that I need to accept and let go in my healing journey? It's I feel that I am stuck in a loop, and now
Got it. Yeah.
I feel that now I have to come out of this.
So for the last few years, you've been having a lot of anxiety. You feel shivering, shaking. You've been taking help from Radha, and you've been trying various things. And you're asking, what can I do for my healing journey? Let me answer in a different way, maybe through a story. Sometimes stories have a different impact. The story comes from one of my teachers, Ajahn Brahm, and he had a lady come to him, and this lady was filled with guilt, right? You have anxiety. She had guilt is a different kind of mental disorder, like a lot of disturbance, a lot of guilt. What is the guilt? So she lived in Australia. And if you know Australia, do you know, by the way, India gives birth to one Australia every year? That's the population difference between India and Australia. So Australia, most people in Australia, if you've ever been to Australia, they live on the coast. Very few people live in the middle of Australia. So in the middle of Australia, there's a lot of mining that goes on. So one of her, no, who was it? Her brother. Yeah, her brother lived in a mining town in Australia. And she went on the weekend and she said, let's go to the outback, the desert area of Australia is called the outback. Let's go for a drive. They had a 4-wheel drive. Let's go. And the brother like, no, I don't want to go. I'm tired. I've been working the whole week. No, we have to go. We have to go. Oh, I don't just sit at home. We have to go. So she forces him and his girlfriend to go out into the desert, driving into the desert on this 4-wheel drive car. Now it so happens, at some point in the drive, the car loses control. It goes upside down. Brother is killed. Girlfriend is paralyzed, neck down. And she survives with only a few scratches. So she says, I'm full of guilt. I forced them to go. They didn't want to go. I forced them to go. And because of me, my brother is dead. And his girlfriend is paralyzed. I can't forgive myself. So now when you hear a story like this, most of us, the first thing we'll say, listen, come on, you didn't know that's going to happen. Why are you blaming yourself? I mean, come on, you can't see the future. And there's no point blame. This is what most of us will say, right? And he was also about to say the same thing. And then he stopped himself. He said, wait a minute, I'm sure many people have told her this answer before. So let me give her a different answer. So you know the answer he gave her? He said, I'm glad you're guilty. You should be guilty. Yes, because you forced them. One is dead and one is paralyzed. And she's kind of shocked to hear this. Like no one speaks to her like this. He's like, you should be guilty. And now the question is, what are you going to do with the energy of this guilt? You're filled with guilt. What are you going to do with it? You can sit and cry, but is there anything else you can do with the energy of the guilt? She says, well, next to my house is a rehab center. I can go and volunteer there. He says, very good. You should work out the energy of this guilt. Go and volunteer. Use the energy of your guilt. Go and volunteer in the rehab center instead of just thinking and thinking and thinking about it. So he didn't give her any kind of spiritual answer. He says, yes, you should be guilty, and now use your guilt in a positive way. Use the energy of your guilt in a good way. And what he recognized is something very subtle, which I want to point out to you, Harsh. What he realized is she's not just guilty. She's guilty about feeling guilty. She's 2 levels deep. Because when she was guilty, then we say, come on, you didn't know this. It wasn't your fault. You didn't want this to happen. But that's not going to work because she's guilty and she knows she shouldn't be guilty, but she's not able to get out of it. She's 2 levels deep. So often when we have a chronic problem, like in your case, it's anxiety, then I'm going to say, Harsh, you're not anxious because you don't look anxious to me. You look pretty comfortable. You're even smiling at the thing I'm saying, right? So you don't look anxious, but you're anxious about being anxious. You're 2 levels deep. So chances are many of us, you're probably not the only one, who in the day we sometimes feel nervous about something, in the day we get agitated about something. But in your case, you're like, oh my God, I'm getting agitated. Oh my God, I'm getting nervous. Oh my God, my breathing. Oh, and so you go 2 levels deep, this bloody anxiety disorder. When will it go away? How long? I've tried everything. I've tried EFT also. When is it going to go away? So you're 2 levels deep. So the remedy for someone like you is, we say, so I'm going to tell you, Harsh, you're going to be anxious. Even after this call, you will be, maybe even during this call, you'll get anxious. Maybe you'll even drop out of the call after listening to me. Who knows? So I'm going to say you will be anxious, and it's not a problem. In other words, I'm giving you permission to be anxious. What we said earlier, your feelings don't want to be fixed. They want to be felt. Feel the anxiety. What's going to happen is heart's going to beat, hands going to tremble. You have a lot of practice. For 3 years, you've been practicing. Hands are shaking. Breathing is happening. All right. Hands are meant to shake. Breathing is meant to happen. Your body can take a little extra breaths. What's going to happen? What's happening is you're making it bigger than it actually is. So it is jo hai, jaisa hai, vaisa hai. And now you'll still be anxious, but you're only level 1 anxious, not level 2 anxious. You're not 2 levels deep, right? And you will start becoming, what are normal people? Normal people are not people who never feel anxious. They feel anxious and they allow themselves to feel it. And 10 minutes later, half an hour later, 1 hour later, it's out of their system. One of my friends said, I get sad, but I have a quality. I can't be sad for too long. I get bored of being sad. She says, I can be sad. I'll be sad for 1 day, 2 days, but then I get bored of being sad. Kitna sad hona hai? Chalo, ab niklo uske samne bahar, right? So I would say be anxious and then be like the rest of us after a while. Okay, no, enough anxiety. No, enough. Got it. Enough, right? So I would actually say, even though someone has diagnosed you with anxiety disorder, maybe it's true also. But now you stop saying I have anxiety disorder. In fact, your name Harsh. Harsh means happiness, right? So what is happiness? Har hal mein harsh, har hal mein khushi. In all states, happiness. So I'm giving you a very difficult assignment. Find the happiness in the middle of anxiety. There is a happiness even in the middle of anxiety. The word for this is bliss. What is bliss? Bliss is any experience you experience completely is called bliss. Any experience you experience completely is called bliss. So even anxiety, when you take away the word anxiety disorder, this, that becomes blissful. You know, one of the most blissful states people have involves deep breathing, heart pounding, body shaking. It's called orgasm, right? What is an orgasm? Deep breathing, body shaking, heart beating. It's orgasm. And people call it the most blissful experience. But in your case, it's become very terrifying because you've made it into a terrible problem. So that's what I have to share with you. I'm not wishing that you come out of this. I'm wishing you make your peace with this. You're imagining one day I will be like this one. No, you're going to be the way you are. Your neurology is different from my neurology. Your level of sensitivity is different from my level of sensitivity. And so I would invite you to make peace with it and at least stop going 2 levels deep. Maybe you'll still remain more anxious than the rest of us, but it'll not be a problem. Right now, it's become a problem. It's complete. I want to hear your voice before we end.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, good. Nice. Thanks, Harsh. Let's go to Meera.
Thank you, Nithya. It's almost
Yes.
more than 10 years. It's more than 10 years I have been practicing lotus of gratitude as soon as
Oh,
I
wow.
get up. And when I go to, every day I go to Gurdwara and
Kya
temple.
baat.
There also I practice lotus of gratitude. Before sleeping, I practice it. And I have recommended it to so many people. And
True.
look at the universe. It has given me I came to your lecture to see it in I was of a victim mentality that time, and
Right.
since I've started practicing, I have become a giver. I have
Kya baat.
started helping government hospital patients with emotional counseling, some tests,
Wow.
some medicines, and now I am initiated by Om Swamiji. And
Yes, yes.
from almost 8 years, I have been practicing Black Lotus meditation, which also has your voice in
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
So the
Yeah.
universe aligned it in a way that
Amazing.
I am initiated by Swamiji, but since I was
Mm.
following the gratitude of Lotus, it has really like I have bloomed, and I'm so
Amazing.
satisfied and I'm so
Yeah.
happy. So all thanks to you. All
So
thanks to
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you just take any one thing and you go deep into it. You've taken that one simple teaching, and that's all it takes. We don't have to learn many things, you know. So I'm so happy you've been practicing it so diligently, morning and evening. And basically, what is a happy moment? A happy moment is when we are liking what we are seeing, liking what we are hearing, liking what we are smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, feeling. When you like it, that's a happy moment. When you don't like it, that's an unhappy moment. So when you're practicing lotus of gratitude again and again, what is lotus of gratitude? For those of you who don't know, you think of 10 things you're grateful for. Each time you open one lotus petal. And like this, each time you think of one, you can go slowly, I'm just going faster. But you can close your eyes in the morning and just open one by one, you open the lotus petals. And feel whatever you're grateful for. And when by the time all 10 open, put your hand on your heart. Shift from thinking into feeling and then being. Very simple practice. I was once at a mall in Gurgaon and a man came up to me and said, "Are you Nithya Shanti?" I said, "Yes." He says, "I saw your video on Lotus of Gratitude. And I've been doing it every day. And I'm an entrepreneur. I have a startup. And there are so many pressures of work and money and this and that, so many pressures. And I sometimes feel I'm going to get overwhelmed. But the Lotus of Gratitude gets me, it always reminds me not just of what's not working, but of all the support I have. So that's the purpose of the lotus of gratitude, to remind you all the ways in which life is beautiful, all the ways in which you're supported, your qualities, the qualities of those around you. And so what you focus on expands. That is one of the qualities of our mind. जिस चीज पे आप ध्यान देंगे, वो बड़ा हो जाएगा. What you focus on expands. Right? So you want to say anything else, Meera, Amir? You want to say anything else?
I just want to say my gratitude.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Lovely. Thanks, Meera. Let's go to Ramnik.
I can ask any question related to anything, right?
Sure, yeah.
Wonderful. I am businessman based in Delhi. I am into exports. One challenge I'm facing from last 5 years, I don't have any active income.
Okay.
Passive incomes I have many. That is no challenge.
Yeah.
But related to work, I'm still working on it every day, upgrading my systems, upgrading everything. But the only challenge is I don't know what happened after pandemic. The active income has stopped. Although
Right.
it should have grown, I will say minimum 50 to 100 times. But
Right.
it's happening the other way around, which I don't know what's happening. Otherwise, in general, I'm very contented. Again, I have my own rituals.
Yeah.
Every day I go
Right.
up, sleep by 9:30, 10, wake up early morning 3:30, 4 every day.
Yeah.
Very disciplined person, no bad habit, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something blockage.
Do you like your, apart from the active income, do you like your work? Do you enjoy your work?
I love it.
You love it, yeah.
Yes.
And are they, like you said, it should have grown 50 or 100 times.
Minimum.
So you have people around you who are in a similar industry, in a similar market.
Yes.
And they are making that kind of progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, much more than that.
Much more than that, right? So I think you have to, there was a book I was reading, and there was a chapter in that book which said how to be the smartest person in a room. And this man talks about going to a party. This is not a normal party. This is a party of extraordinarily talented, powerful, influential people. So in this party are the presidents of some countries. In this party are A-list celebrities. In this party are top sports people. Almost anyone in this party, you could recognize, oh my God, I know this person. Oh my God, I know this person. So they are the top people in, tell me. Yeah.
Every day I walk with the giants, all my friend circle, my upbringing, my lunches, dinner, or let's say breakfast are with those kind of people who are highly successful.
So let me share with you the end of, let me share with you what I got from this chapter, right? So he's in this room with high power people, like the kind that you also meet. And they're top level politicians, top level military leaders, top level celebrities. And he asked himself a very interesting question. What would it take to be the smartest person in this room? Now everybody in this room is very smart, very accomplished. They're not ordinary people. So the very interesting answer comes. I'm going to assume I'm the stupidest person in this room. Because when you're the stupidest person, what do? Everyone, there's something to learn from. So he goes to an army chief who's recently been in his country's been in a very big battle. And he says, sir, good to meet you. And I'm in great admiration of your leadership skills. You manage 60,000 troops in a hostile environment, in a different culture. How did you keep up morale? These people are in a different country. It's very uncertain. How did you keep up morale? So he asked him that question. He got some kind of answer. He went to a celebrity, a movie star, who makes 3 movies every year. He said, how do you manage your schedule and your family? Because you make 3 movies a year. That's not a small thing. And the movies tend to be bestsellers, big hits, top hits. And you also have a strong family life. Tell me something about how you manage your time. So he went to every person in the room and he asked them a powerful, pertinent question by assuming he is the silliest, dumbest person in the room. So then by the end of the chapter, he says, who do you think was the smartest person in the room? By the end of the gathering, you see, those who went, because most people in such a gathering want to show off what they've been doing. I've done this, I've been there, because we want to show our success. Nobody wants to just ask questions. You look stupid, right? So that would be my, I don't know what if I call it advice or whatever. There are people around you who are earning 50, 100 times. There is something they know. There's something that, obviously there's something that they know, something that they're doing. So you have to go like an absolute beginner and ask them questions like, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your people? When you have a setback, what do you do? When things get stuck with the government, what do you do? When with these new policies that have come out, how you ask questions? And with people who you can trust, you can even say, I need your mentorship. I really trust, I really admire your work. Can you give me an hour every 2 weeks? Can you give me an hour every month? Or sometimes there are forums. I think there is YPO, there is EO, there are such organizations where you can meet. Because the thing is, they say it's lonely at the top. So when you're very accomplished, there are not many people you can open up to. It's kind of, they don't understand, right? So then there are forums like that where you meet another 4, 5, 6 people at your level who openly talk about both their successes and their challenges. So I think the company of such people, more than people like me who's not in that kind of industry, you will benefit from talking to those people and being vulnerable with them and listening to what they have to say and applying the knowledge you get from them. And then little by little, definitely, if things have to change, they'll change. Yeah. Unmute Ramnik, just to complete. Yeah.
I am taking the coaching with best of the coaches in India, and
Okay.
I understand very well that life is holistic. It is not only business, career only, health, wealth, career, relationship.
Mm.
In all other parts, I'm doing very well. I work with scheduler. Every half an hour is aligned and planned in that way. My week, month, everything is very well planned, I will say. Even I don't know many people who plan in such a way what I have. So I will not say that there is lapse in this kind of thing, but some or the other, what I feel can be the blockage.
Maybe it's too planned. Maybe you need to have half a day or one day in the week with no plan. Maybe you need to meet people you don't normally meet. Maybe you need to go and just take a walk or just go and sit in a coffee shop by yourself and sit with a piece of paper and pen. Leave your phone also away. Because maybe it's too planned, maybe it's too structured. When you're telling me it's so planned, I don't see that as a positive. I see that as a negative, actually. I say you're so programmed. There's no place for inspiration to come. There's no place for insight to come. There's no place for reflection. आपका आधा घंटा plan हो चुका है. So that I don't. Then it's very clear. You're too close. When you're making a painting, Ramnik, I don't know if you ever painted. If you're making a painting, आपको कभी-कभी step पीछे लेना पड़ेगा. तो बोलेंगे आप पीछे क्यों ले रहे हो स्टेप? जब आप स्टेप पीछे लेते हो पूरी पेंटिंग दिखाई देती है, फिर समझ में आता है ये बड़ा हो गया, ये छोटा हो गया, ये कलर नहीं मैच कर रहा है. So maybe you're too close to the action, and that is why the insight is not coming. So maybe you need maybe half a day a week, one day a week, maybe a couple of days a month. Get away from your normal stuff. Be with different. Maybe you're too much with business people. Be with artistic people. Be with the other healers. Be with different kinds. Don't be so much with your coaching people all the time. तो फिर अलग जगह से inspiration आता है. Then the mind opens up in a way that's not opening.
Very true.
And how wonderful. Let's focus also on that you have passive income. Life is going very well. मैंने शुरू में सेशन में बोला था, what you're looking for may not be in the world of experience. तो भी आपका मन कह रहा है कि ये एक चीज सेटल हो जाए, ये एक्टिव इनकम सेटल हो जाए, फिर सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. पूरा जीवन हमारा ऐसे जाता है, ये चीज सेटल हो जाए, ये कोर्ट केस सेटल हो जाए, ये बच्चा सेटल हो जाए, ये इनकी शादी हो जाए, इनकी शादी ठीक हो जाए, तब and our mind just keeps going like that. So I would say focus on all that's going well. Life is built like this. There will always be something that shakes you a little bit, and that's not something that a mistake that you're making or something.
I got it.
Yes, Ramnik? So nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Let's go to Ruchika.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hi, Nithya. Thank you for this great session today. As usual, there's so much of us, so I want to ask something pretty specific actually. Till about last year, I'm a creative person. That's the work I do also. in various fields. And till about last year, if somebody would ask me, what is your gift? I would say things like, okay, I draw well, I write well, and all of this didn't feel like a gift, it's a talent. But I did that Omega process with you. And for the first time in my life, I figured out through that process what my gift is. And that changed a lot for me, how I'm approaching things about my work and going about my life, because for the first time I got aware of my gift. And so it changed things for me. It brought me more clarity. And then later I did healing the money wound, which kind of, it was like a journey which I was, I think, supposed to do after the Omega process, and it as if it was just meant to be in continuation, and it healed more for me, gave me more clarity. So I am now in a very good space because of practices like the screen and Vyom and timeless gratitude. I'm in a great space. However, I still haven't made a breakthrough
Mhm.
in what I want to actually do. And I can actually see it out of, when I'm saying I want it, now I don't want it with stress. I
Yeah.
have a lot of love and clarity about it. And I have a lot of joy when I think about it. That is what these practices have helped me, and
Mhm.
so thankful to you for this, because I never thought, whenever we say ambition and all, it comes with a lot of stress, but I have been able to think with clarity. uh,
Right.
but why am I not making the breakthrough? Why am I not able to do something which I can see it with this level of clarity within?
I think first of all, everyone's very curious. What is your gift? So that's your talent.
My
What is the
gift
gift
is
you discovered?
my gift is I figured through the Omega process that my gift is that the how I can learn something with an incredible speed and in
Okay.
incredibly short amount of time. And
Okay.
it can be anything: physical, mental, study related, talent related. I learn. It's not competitive, but uh, I learn things within hours that
Okay.
takes people courses to learn.
Okay.
So that I said, okay, if that is the gift, what happens if if you get into something new, you know that even if you don't know something, you learn a
Okay.
lot faster than anybody. So it puts you in a very good mind space. It puts you in a very easy space that, hey, whatever comes, I'll deal with it. So that easiness came
And
with
what is
it
the,
because I
I
realized
got
that
it.
was
What is the breakthrough you're looking for?
I want to my career break. It's okay. It's not doing very great, and
Hmm.
it's also not what I actually want to do.
Yeah.
So I am making the very planned efforts and everything, but
Hmm.
it's not like I'm only thinking and sitting and not really taking any
Sure.
practical steps. But it's not. So I don't know. It's as if it's not moving ahead at all.
Okay.
Uh, and it's been a while. So I something it's something not meant for me. The clarity with which I can see it. So I don't know. I thought I'd talk to you about it.
I mean, I feel you have these many talents and this gift of learning things fast. And that's where the juice is. And what's messing with it is this idea of a breakthrough, this idea of it needs to be a particular kind of career, or I need to whatever be established in some way or earn something from it. I think that's what's really messing you up, actually, isn't it? And these are not,
Yeah.
you may think that this is your goal, But what I found out is we have no goals of our own, actually. All these goals are borrowed. All these breakthroughs and goals we are looking for are completely borrowed, including the spiritual ones, actually. We borrow this from society. We borrow this from, we look at our friends, how is that? We look at Instagram, we look at TikTok, we look at Facebook, we look at the media, and we get influenced by, okay, if I have this talent, means I have to have a fill in the blanks. I have to have 1 million followers. I need to touch so many lives. I need to teach somebody. Why? Why do you need to do all that? Like you look at nature, flowers are not having an Instagram account. Birds are not having competing Instagram account. Look, my bird song is better than your bird song. They're just being. They're in a state of being. We human beings want to get something out of it, want to make something of it. And so that's why we get all tied up. So I think the real breakthrough may be letting go of the idea of the breakthrough.
So then what do I do with it?
No, don't do anything with it. Just be natural. You're a learner, so learn. You like to learn. You like to practice your art or whatever it is. Do that. This requirement for it to become something. I'm not saying it shouldn't become, but this is giving you a lot of stress. This is not happening naturally. You're not in your flow state. In my case, I find this is the way I operate. So you ask me the question. You ask somebody else the question, they'll give you their answer. Because you ask me, I'll give you my answer. My answer is being in a state of flow is what's most important. What comes out of that state of flow, no, that is not in our hands. You be yourself, and then whatever the results of that will be. Too many people think success is is a result of your hard work and your consistency. Yeah, okay, maybe that's one element, but that's a very small element. What we call success is there are so many factors, you're going to go crazy trying to consider all the factors. There are a million factors at play, right? There has to be, people have to be interested. You have to know the right people in every industry, right? So, and this is true in any field of life. It's not really in our hands. We like to think it's in our hand. And people who teach law of attraction, they just visualize it and it'll happen. Actually, it's not in our hands. The honest truth is this, even our own hands are not in our hands. Have you made your hand? This hand is also made by something, some intelligence. Your hand itself are not in your hand. What are you going to do, right? So I would just say be natural, be whatever gets you into a flow state. And if inspiration has to come, it will come. You can have, I'm not saying don't have the question. You can float off the question, like you float a helium balloon into the sky. Like I would say one way to ask your question would be, if my talents and gifts have to be used in a way that become a career or lead to some kind of whatever kind of impact you're trying to have, then may I be guided to that. May the people come to me, may the inspiration come to me, may the resources come to me, may the money come to me, and may that come to me. And if not, then leave me at peace, please. And you make that prayer once in your life, not every morning. Just make it once in your life and you're done. And then if it's meant to be, it'll be. And after that, it doesn't have to happen.
Okay. I
Just
got
unmute
it. I
and
got
close.
it.
Yeah. Good. You got a sense? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I don't
Thank you.
think that the problem actually is not the lack of breakthrough. It's this idea of a breakthrough that someone has put into your head. That's what's creating the problem. Otherwise, you're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. So Sanjeev, before we go to you, let's take a minute of silence because we're talking quite a bit. So I just also want people to be more centered, and we'll go to Sanjeev. Just take a moment to breathe and settle into your body. Very nice. Sanjeev, please continue.
Hi, Nithya. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I really like
Yes.
what we have discussed till now. So I had this one question even before we started the program, and one question which came to me after during what I heard from you. So first question, of course, is more important for me because that's where I've started. See, whenever I've been trying to meditate. I mean, I've been meditating for last maybe 50 years or 30, 40 years. Whenever you meditate, it's other thoughts come. So what I have heard is people say, let the thought come, let the thought go. Let the thought come, let the thought go. And you try and meditate on what you are trying to meditate on, whatever light or om or whatever is your way of meditating. But it's been like decades, but it has not happened. I don't know how to calm your mind to be able to focus on something. So
Yeah.
focus is an issue. Hmm. The solution which I heard in last 5 minutes was maybe you be in a flow, then you will be able to focus and you don't have to worry about being focused because you are in a flow and you are lost. Hmm. So that could be one way of doing it. But there I see an issue because everyone else, like my own family, if I'm lost in something, like for example, I'll tell you actual thing that I'm learning singing. And when I'm learning things, singing, I'm learning a few things. And I feel like singing or humming or saying something all the time, right? Because I am in that flow. Okay. And now family says, yaar, tum pagal ho gaye ho. So I see somewhere that flow means you have become crazy. Okay. Or you become crazy. Or you will become crazy. If you are in real flow, I've seen that with people where they don't worry about you being there. They don't worry about themselves being there, not being there, because they are in that mind space or heart space or whatever I call it. So they're in that space where they're not concerned, they're not worried. So to come back to my original question, being calm, or will it even help being calm or being focused? If that's the question, I feel yes, it will help because whatever you are doing, if you focus, if you can be in that moment, is what really helps me or will help me because naturally, when I'm on, say, for example, today, when I'm trying to do my business, when I'm trying to work there, obviously I will be there. But other things like except business or except singing, any other time when I'm around, my thoughts are just going here and there. So, uh, okay, not a bad situation, but if I'm able to focus and be there, so the question is it meditation? Is it being calm? Is it being able to focus? Or what is it that I am really looking for? I mean, my thought is that I'm looking for calmness and focus. So how does one bring that about in meditation or otherwise? Because it's, as you know, there is a chota voice or whatever you call it at the back of your mind. Something is mostly running. But for me, it's like 50% of the time it's running. So how do I remove even that? Or maybe it is 80, 90%. I don't know. But so I only have observed recently when you are in flow, then there is no matter. Nothing runs at the back of your mind. So the coming to basic question is, how do I focus or become calm? Is there a way that I can follow, if at all there is a way? That is the first basic question. I think I've explained to you. And the second question which came to me is that when you say that, your social, we are all doing social comparison.
Let's go to the second one in a bit. Let's go. The first one's already very juicy.
Sure.
So I find that sometimes what we think is the solution is itself the problem. And what I mean by this is that somehow this image, and this happens to many of us who've learned meditation or who are on these ideas of meditation, spirituality, calmness, even things like being in flow. These very concepts start disturbing our flow. Because now it's not enough for you to just be calm. You have to be that calm. It's not just for you to be in flow. You need to be that much in flow that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. You can just be pagal ho jayenge flow mein, right? So, आपका ये जो ideas हैं calmness के बारे में, meditation के बारे में, flow के बारे में, जो images हैं, I'm going to propose to you the real problem. These images, these ideas, these ideals are messing with your natural calmness, messing with your natural flow. The Buddha said something interesting. He encouraged monks who, because you see, we all have different nervous systems. Some of us find it quite easy to be calm. But then our analysis, our ability to discern is quite weak. उसे कहते हैं pragya, the ability to discern. Discernment is quite weak. For some of us, we're very analytical, but calmness is quite weak. So the Buddha actually said, those of you who are calm, hang out with the analytical types. Those of you who are analytical, hang out with the calm types. And basically he's saying that each one of you have a gift. So the way I'm going to frame this for you, Sanjeev, is maybe compared to some of us, you're not that calm. But some of us, compared to you, we're not that sharp. We don't have that, incisive ability that you have. And that's just your setting. I use the word setting for this. For a long time, because I'm also tend to be more, incisive. I'm not, when I do calmness meditation, I just fall asleep, right? So for me, calmness doesn't work. But if you give me something to think about, reflect about, that's easy for me, right? And for a long time, I judge myself, oh, if only I could be more calm. If only I could be more concentrated. If only I could, stick with one thing for a very long time. But now I say, why? Why? Fighting with my setting is what is upsetting. So this is where I am right now. I'm going to allow myself to not be that calm. You get more calm, very good. Happy for you, Mudita, Mangal ho, Sukhi ho. I'm not that calm. I'm as calm as I am. I'm as analytical as I am. And you're as analytical as you are. Suppose we took away these images. You said, अरे मैं बहुत साल से कर रहा हूँ, उस हद तक नहीं गया हूँ. अरे किस हद तक जाना है आपको? वो हद आप निकाल ही दो, वो आइडियल निकाल ही दो थोड़ी देर के लिए आप. जितने आप फ्लो में हो, उतने आप फ्लो में रहो. और कभी कभी गुनगुनाओगे घर पर, एंड कुछ लोग माइंड करेंगे तो ठीक है, दैट्स फैमिली लाइफ, व्हाटएवर यू डू. यूजी कृष्णमूर्ति said this. He said, if you are able to stop worrying about what other people are thinking about you, their opinions about you, you will release an enormous amount of energy and creative potential. All of us, our energy and our creative potential is being hampered by one thought. क्या है वो thought? सबसे बड़ा रोग, क्या कहेंगे लोग? The biggest thing that's bothering us, right? So I'm not saying don't care about your family. Of course, you have to find the middle path. But it's okay. We can't in this life please everybody, satisfy everybody. And so more than giving you any instructions for meditation or whatever, I would just say make peace with your nervous. इतने साल हो गए हैं, chances are आपका बचा हुआ जीवन भी ऐसे ही जाने वाला है. Maybe you'll find a better meditation teacher than I am. तो ठीक है, पर तब तक तो आपका जीवन ऐसे ही जाने वाला है. So you make peace with it. And you find the flow in the middle of this. You find the calmness in the middle of this. The calmness will come the moment you take away the image. I need to be that calm. I need to be that calm. No, I don't need to be that calm. I need to be as calm as I am. This is called the horizontal approach. What is vertical approach? I'll get better, and boom, I'll arrive there. What is horizontal approach? It's already here. It's already here. I'm just missing it because I have an image of how it's supposed to be. How are we doing, Sanjeev?
Yeah, that's fine. That it gives good clarity.
Yes. The second question?
Second question was about, whenever I hear you.
Social comparison.
Correct. Social comparison. And another thing which comes along with that is it's not, I'm not that, I'm not that. So neti is fine. But then who am I is, again, that remains as you're not this, you're not this, you're not this. Whatever is left is what you are. So, okay. So social comparison is one. And I don't know if I asked this question earlier about who am I also. So these are unrelated questions. But social comparison, I felt that we are all social beings. We are nothing if we are not social beings. Then I go,
of course,
I become secluded, I go become a sadhu and live in Himalayas, or I live wherever. I'm more likely to go live in a mental hospital rather than Himalaya. If I become totally unsocial, or not become unsocial,
you are.
Or if I become totally, if I don't compare myself, or I don't act the way society expects me to act. So
question क्या है? Question पूछिए, क्या question है? Social comparison.
हाँ, so social comparison में question ये है कि can I really even survive without doing any kind of social comparison? That's the
Yeah.
basic
So
question.
I'll teach you the right way to do comparison. This is called gain versus gap, right? Now, and this also applies, by the way, to your previous question about peace of mind and calmness and those things. So what is gap? Gap is the distance between where I am and where I think I should be. Even Ramnik earlier was asking the question about his business. So what is the gap? Whenever Ramnik thinks I'm here, I should have been 50x, 100x, he's into the gap. This is called the gap mindset. Whenever you think इतने साल हो गए, इतना मेडिटेशन हो गया है, इतना कर लिया है, पर अब तक तो ये हो जाना चाहिए था, मेरा इतना ही हुआ है. Whenever you compare where you are to where you should imagine you should be, you're in the gap. And what comes along with the gap? A feeling of insecurity, a feeling of inferiority, a feeling of I'm not good enough, a feeling of I'm doing something wrong, I'm lazy, and 100 other adjectives come along with that. But let me introduce you to another one. The other word is gain. What is gain? So here's gain. Where did I begin and where have I come? So Sanjeev, when you before this whole meditation journey and all, where did you begin? Where are you now? Has there not been some gain? Of course, there's been a gain, right? Ramnik, where did you begin? And where are you now? Have you not learned? Maybe business, active income, maybe less, but haven't you got so much experience? Haven't you got so many new contacts? Haven't you become so humbled? Oh my goodness, look at where you began. Look at where you've come. So do comparison, do it with yourself, right? Instead of the image of what you should be, you do the image of where you began and where you've come. And instantly when you're in the gain, you have a sense of gratitude. You have a sense of contentment. You have a sense of, oh my goodness, I'm so supported. It's a simple mental trick, but it's amazing. Some of the most intelligent people in this world and all highly accomplished people, they're big, they're doing very well in their jobs, they're living in amazing homes, beautiful families, but they are in a state of crisis. Why? The 99% of their day lives in the gap, the gap, the gap. I want you to live in the gain, live in the gain. And you'll find that's all it takes. So social comparison karna hai to karo, but more than this sounds a little bit, when you do social comparison like that, it feels like, हाँ उनका जीवन तो इतना खराब है, मेरा इतना अच्छा है. तो औरों से मत करो, अपने आप से ही करो. Look where I began and look where I've come. And instantly you'll find you have a sense of wholesomeness. Oh my goodness, I've achieved so much, I've done so much, I've created so much. I did this once, I was a monk and I sat down. I don't know how this idea got into my head. I sat down early in the morning. It must have been about 5 o'clock. And I began writing. What are the beautiful things I have done and experienced in my life? And I said from 0 to 5, of course, you don't remember much, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and so on until my age at that time. Sanjeev, I wrote for 4 hours. 4 hours. I filled an entire notebook. I was surprised at how much I wrote. मैंने ये भी किया है, ये भी किया है, ये भी सीखा है, इनको भी help करी थी, वो भी. And all लोग नहीं जानते, मैं जानता मैंने क्या किया. And I'm only focusing on the gain. I'm not talking about what I missed, right? And Sanjeev, this was better than any meditation I've done in my life. Oh my goodness, I felt I was floating in the air. No meditation has given me that experience. That writing for 4 hours, the gain, where did I begin and where have I come? Oh my goodness. So that's focusing on that is what it takes. And that's where the shift happens. Are you getting a sense?
No, please restate last 2 sentences.
Yeah.
I just used.
Nobody's. No, that's fine. That's fine. So the main thing I'm saying is, whenever you focus on the gap is where you should be. That could come through social comparison. मेरे दोस्त वहां तक पहुंच गए हैं, मेरे नेबर ये कर रहे हैं. फिर आप जब भी आप गैप में जाओगे ना, कि मुझे अब तक ये हो जाना चाहिए था मेरी स्पिरिचुअलिटी में या मेरे सिंगिंग में या जो भी है, instantly you will feel less than, you'll feel inferior, you'll feel helpless and hopeless. And when you focus on, look at the journey we've made. I've made, my family has made, spiritual journey I've made, learning journey I've made, singing journey I've made. कहां से कहां तक पहुंच गए? Instantly you're contented, you're grateful, you're calm. That's it. That's what it is. It's a mental shift, and it changes everything.
I would say I largely live in that space where it's not about comparison in negative sense. So I was seeing comparison as a negative word. So I don't have a complex or some gap. I don't live in gap actually. I hardly live in gap. But it's a good point. I'm thinking about it actively, proactively. Will possibly improve that also.
Yes. So the only thing that you're only getting bugged by that last little bit of gap. वो मेरे meditation में हो जाना चाहिए था, मेरे इसमें हो जाना चाहिए, उसी में आपको वो परेशानी हो, नहीं तो आप बिल्कुल ठीक हो. You don't have any issues.
Okay, thank
very
you.
good, Sanjeev.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Let's go to Devang.
Good morning, sir.
Nithya, one moment. Shiva
Oh,
had
sorry.
a question
Yeah.
before Devang.
Oh, sure. Let's go to
Just
Shiva
one
first.
moment here.
We'll come back
Shiva,
to you, Devang.
just take your question first.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nithya, I'm traveling and not able to open my camera.
That's fine.
Been
That's fine.
having
Tell me.
this
Yeah.
question for a long time that whenever I sit for meditation, even otherwise, I'm able to feel the sense of the existence, the non-identified existence. So I have this dichotomy: should I focus on that or no, practice some modes of meditation? When I sit for any other meditation, I always question myself: I'm already able to feel this existence. Can I focus on that? Is the question, or should I take some forms of meditation?
No, the first question is, why are you meditating? Why do you meditate? You got. I think you have to again unmute him, I think. Yeah,
Why
Shiva,
I'm
keep yourself
meditating is,
unmuted. Why? Yeah, why do you meditate?
can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
So I am meditating on whenever I had meditated in the past, I probably experienced the sense of the freedom, bliss, whatever you call. I now want to get in that space again.
Yeah. So I would say that is not freedom, because you're trying to recreate an experience. How can that be freedom? How can that be real freedom? Because you've had an experience and now you're trying to recreate it. And last time this worked, this meditation method worked, that approach worked. So you're constantly, it's not a new experience. It's a programming. It's not a new thing at all. So the moment you meditate in order to experience anything, whether it is from your past or you read it in a book, that's not a genuine experience. So what I learned is a very simple statement, was a very powerful statement. Thought can create any experience. I'll say it again. Thought can create any experience. So now with your thoughts of existence, non-existence, this meditation, that memory, you are trying to recreate an experience. And I want to offer you something different. Who are you without the thirst for any experience? See, the moment you have a thirst for a particular experience, you're negating this experience. Like if I have an idea how this call should go, I'm going to be in stress the whole time, right? See, even if it's going well, I hope it keeps going well. I hope it keeps going well, right? I hope nothing spoils this. I hope no one asks a difficult question I can't answer. That's going to be one thing. Or if it's not going well, I'm like, I think your question, why is it going on? This has gone on too long. Either way, I'm going to be in stress. I will have some concept of how this call should go. The moment I have a concept of how this call should go, positive or negative, it's going to mess with the naturalness of this call. So the moment you have a concept of how meditation should go, what experience you should have, that is not meditation. That is a calculation. You're messing with your nervous system, I would say. I'm actually going to go that far. So you're messing with your nervous system. It's not, ये स्वाभाविक नहीं है, Shiv. ये तो फिर you are trying to achieve some kind of a state. Then I would even say don't meditate, yeah. That is more unexpected things will happen to you, more fresh things will happen to you. Because when you meditate, then you have all this knowledge, all these things, previous experiences. So we should really ask, why do we meditate? What are we looking for? What are we hoping to get from it? I'm not saying don't meditate, but you ask that question. And then if you meditate, it'll be the most simple, natural thing. कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ कहीं पे पहुंचने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई खास experience करने की जरूरत नहीं है. And that would be true meditation. Otherwise, we're just regurgitating some idea. We've heard somewhere Sat Chit Ananda. Oh, it should be existence. It should be bliss. It should be consciousness. So then we're trying to regurgitate that. We're trying to recreate that. That's my understanding. How are we doing, Shiv?
At pitfall, I thought I am setting a benchmark. I'm trying to achieve that. I understand that. These I understand. I think I got a great lesson there. But the second part of the question, whenever I sit, okay,
Yeah.
whatever the moment of
Your voice is gone. Say it again. All right. So maybe you can type it out, Shiv, and Leonel will help us with your question, the second part of it.
for you
Right? We'll
see,
come back.
I get what you call the existence. The dichotomy. Can I say? I mean, if I'm allowed to ask. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Sorry that your voice got kind of crumpled over there. Just type it out, and I'll do my best to answer it. Yeah. All right, Devang, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I'm Devang from Mumbai.
Yes. Hi,
Actually,
Devang.
I'm a little stressed out and I don't know
Yeah.
how to find joy, happiness in my life.
Right.
And also, I'm doing meditation and all, but I'm not able to find joy and happiness. And also want to know how to activate my chakras and activate the pineal gland.
How do you know
So
it's not
say,
already activated?
I don't know. Because I'm not feeling happy, because I'm not feeling joy and happiness. That's why. And my
Yeah.
memory also little bit weak, and I'm not able to easily communicate with freely, openly communicate with.
Hmm. Well, I'm hearing you
Doing
communicate very
meditation and
clearly.
everything.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your question.
Yeah,
You've
that's the
been doing
question. I'm not able
meditation.
to find joy, happiness in my
You're
life.
not able to find joy, happiness. Yeah. So you're very close to becoming a Buddha, because that's what the Buddha discovered. There is no joy and happiness in this world.
No.
Buddha Purnima just happened, right? You're very close to becoming a Buddha. So you're almost there. See, the difference between you and Buddha is you're like, I'm not able to find it. How do I find it? And he discovered it's not there only.
I'm not able to discovering that this there. I don't know how to discover.
See, the point I'm trying to make, Devang, is that you somewhere, whoever was that person who was trying to help you, who told you about joy and happiness and how meditation will take you there, that person confused you and that person messed with you. That's what I'm going to tell you. That person messed with you. I'll tell you my own story. I was, how old was I? 16, 17 years old. And I had a classmate whose father was a meditation teacher. So I went to this classmate's house. And we somehow began talking about his father, and his father teaches meditation. So I asked his father, why do people meditate? He said, we meditate to be happy. So I smiled and said, I'm already happy. So he frowned and said, you think you're happy. Now, this is an authority figure, who's looking at me and saying, you think you're happy, you're actually not happy. So when I look back, I said, that person did me a disservice. He messed with me, actually. He messed with me. I'm saying this with a lot of confidence, right? He implanted in me that some other state is better than my state. And that is the biggest lie anyone can tell you. Some other state. If you hear me, I don't know if you've been hearing my other answers to other people, but one way or the other, I'm telling them the same thing. Who told you that some other state is better than your current state? Where did you get this idea from? You were gullible. You were naive. Someone fooled you into saying, and of course, in the world, we get fooled that this car will do it for you, this house will do it for you, this dress will do it for you, this plastic surgery will do it for you. But then we think we're so smart, but then we fall into the same trap spiritually. A little more joy will do it for you. This next chakra, if it opens up, it'll do it for you. Then if you have this Divya Darshan, then there's something will do it for you. What will it do for you? It's just another experience. Have you heard this phrase, been there, done that? These are people who have, been there, done that. You've eaten the foods in different restaurants, you've traveled to different countries, you've had many experiences. So we say, been there, done that. What does it mean? सब कर लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया, सब कुछ चख लिया, कुछ नहीं है उसके अंदर. So go ahead and meditate, go ahead and open up your chakras. And when you opened up your topmost chakra, then you'll sit with me and say, Nithya, सब कुछ खुल गया, फिर मतलब कुछ है ही नहीं उसके अंदर। सब खुलने के बाद यही हम लोग बोलने वाले हैं कि what are we going to say? It is what it is. Every experience is beautiful exactly the way it is. The very search for a better experience. What's keeping you from joy, Devang, is the thirst for joy. What's keeping you from it, what's keeping you from happiness, is some idea of how happiness is supposed to look. So the person who taught you about happiness, maybe it wasn't a person, maybe it was a YouTube video or some book you read. We pick up these ideas from all kinds of places. Who are we without these ideas? You know, this journey is not so much about learning, it's about unlearning. You have to let go of a lot of the concepts we picked up, including the spiritual concepts. And eventually we'll have to sack all of these teachers, including people like me. The sooner you sack all of us, then you're back to your natural state. Otherwise, we keep looking to some authority figure. In fact, I mentioned a little earlier, I think I began my session by saying that I bow to that in you, which is the expert on your life. How dare I give you any advice? You are the expert on your life. You truly are. We keep looking outside. No, somebody else must know more. What is the difference between you and me? I'll tell you the difference between you and me. I may have read a few more books than you. Maybe that's the only difference. I had a few more experiences in some direction. That's it. There's no other difference. If you read those books, if you had those experiences, you and I would be the same. So I don't think it's necessary for you to experience anything different than what you are. That's what's actually coming in the way. I know this may not be a very satisfying answer, but this is the real answer. But go ahead, Devang. What do you think?
Yeah. Thank you so much. But I'm continuing meditation because
All right, do it.
when I that last chakra you said, the last chakra is open, then I feel joy. That once or twice I open, I think so. I'm getting cool breeze, so that time I find happiness and joy.
Yeah, but that's a curse. That's not that cool breeze is making the rest of your life seem like a hot hell.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Without that, you know, you were better off without if you didn't have that cool breeze, you'd be very happily living in this world. But now that you felt that cool breeze, now this whole world is a hot burning mess. You can't sit normally with us. You have to go and meditate. उन्होंने छोड़ो, आप बेकार की बात कर रहे हो, क्रिकेट की बात कर रहे हो, मुझे मेडिटेशन करना है. ये वर्ल्डली बातें हैं. अरे आप भी फंसे हुए हो. हम तो बस क्रिकेट में घुसे हुए हैं. आप तो अपने इंटीरियर एसी में घुसे हुए हो. ठंडी हवा आप लगाओ, एसी लगाओ, ठंडी हवा आएगी. आप चक्रा क्यों खोलना है उसके लिए?
Yeah.
Right? So the real freedom that we're looking for cannot be these experiences, what they do is they create a imbalance because you had a power. I'm not saying you've had a powerful experience, but it has made you imbalanced because now these normal experiences are no longer going to do it for you. So how can this be freedom? How can this be true? No, what I'm saying is don't do anything. Just you do it. You do what you have to do. You will have to meditate. अभी आपको वो डस गया है, वो meditation का भूत आपके ऊपर सवार हो गया है. The serpent of meditation has bitten you. So now go ahead and meditate. Open up the chakras one by one. Do whatever you have to do. But ultimately, what we want is, see, what many people describe meditation, the ultimate goal is Sahaj Samadhi. Or it's called as Upeksha Bhav. What is Sahaj Samadhi? Sahaj is natural, easy, normal. Sahaj is, what is Samadhi? Stable. Stable in your natural state. And what is the natural state? The current state, not a manufactured state. If you need to meditate for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours to get a cool breeze, that is a manufactured state. That is not your natural state. How can that be a natural state? Then you might as well go for a jog, go for a 2-kilometer run, have a cold shower and sit. I'll tell you, you'll have a very beautiful experience. Like, you know, I'm sure everyone has done yoga in this group. You've done yoga. What's the best part of yoga? Shavasana at the end. But why Shavasana at the end? Because for the last half an hour, 1 hour, you've been struggling. That Shavasana is so sweet. Right now, if you do Shavasana, nothing much will happen. You think, क्या हो रहा है? Bored हो गए. पर 1 घंटे के बाद योगा के बाद शवासन करोगे ना, इतना अच्छा लगता है. तो आपने जो सारी साधनाएं कर ली हैं, सारी मेडिटेशन कर ली हैं, तो उसके बाद ये जो नेचुरल चीज है ना, तब उसमें मजा आता है. तब तक आपको मजा नहीं आने वाला है नेचुरल चीज. So yes, now there's nothing. What can I tell you? You have to go through it. That saap has bitten you. So now go through all the chakras, go through everything.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Yes, Devang, beautiful. All right. Lakshmi.
Namaste, teacher.
Namaste ji.
The highest in me goes down to the highest in me. It's always a joy just listening to you. Am I audible, please? Am I audible?
You're very audible. You're very audible. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a few questions in my mind. Some of them the previous people have already asked, and some clarity has come in. But still, the मन में रखा है टीचर को पूछना है तो पूछ ही लेती हूँ. So, like I had a very active life. I mean, as an working in a bank, very exciting and all that. I retired a couple of years back. Now I'm feeling fukkat. काम नहीं है, धंधा नहीं type. And I do go for Hindustani classical, Carnatic music and all that. But somewhere I had those dreams that once I'm retired, I'll have all the time on earth. I want to go visit the USA. I want to go to Germany and all these places. But now I'm feeling, Arey Baba now. So I don't have that monthly income that I was getting when I was working. So that is that barrier now. All along I wanted that. Once I retire, I'll do this, I'll do that. Now I am like, now that I'm retired, can I afford to spend? You know, that limiting belief.
Yeah.
So that is what I want to come out of. And as you rightly said, that gain and gap. When you were talking about gain and gap, I patted myself that so much I have gained, thank you. But there are dreams. As a little girl, I feel a lot of mills and boons.
The mills and boons that spoiled the whole generation.
Expecting your husband to be like this and then, oh नहीं होता है तो फिर वो जैसा है. But now I know, जैसा है वैसा है अच्छा है. So, but I still want to visit the USA. I want to go to Germany because I've learned the language. So, how do I?
I mean, this is, see, the thing is, you think these are your dreams, but Lakshmi, they're not your dreams. These dreams have been put into your system. This is what I'm trying to tell all of you, that, you know, what you think are your problems, they're not your problem. They've been put into your system. You've picked it up from somewhere.
Yeah.
You see, this only in our generation, retirement mein sochte hain, yahan jayenge, wahan jayenge. One or two generations back, no one was thinking. They may have thought Nainital jayenge, Shimla jayenge, no, America jayenge, Germany jayenge. So your ambition also have become that next level, right? And even parents nowadays, it's not enough to send your kids to college. You have to send them to Harvard, Stanford. That will take your entire life savings to put them into Harvard and Stanford and the rest of it, right? Otherwise, you're a failure as a parent if you don't send your kids to America or to some other foreign country. So these are not your dreams. This is societal. You have to understand you're picking up the stuff from society. It's not yours. So what's bugging you is not you. What's bugging you is all of these ideas about what retirement is supposed to look like and whatever, right? So when you start looking at it like that, you start realizing, no, they're not. Even I had to realize in my own system, I realized how many things had been put into the system. Like people put into my system, you should write a book. And for the longest time, mujhe nahi man kar raha hai write a book. Then finally people got together and said, we'll make you write a book. So they took my talks and they put it into, actually a book came out. But it's interesting, like I never had that sense. But people put, this idea that you taught so much, you've helped so much, you should have a book. I was on Facebook. No, you should be on Instagram. All the young people are on Instagram. Okay, I'm supposed to be on Instagram. You go to Instagram. And then one day I said, why? I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want to be in any of these things. What a relief. But you have to shake this off, right? Otherwise, it's like, how can you not be? People will not know about you. You have such a gift. People have to. No. Like I say, the flowers have a gift. The birds have a gift. They don't have to be told to the whole world. Yes, some of us will go that direction, but it's not necessary for all of us to go in that direction. So your retirement does not need to look like anything apart from what it is. And yes, please look at your realistically, what holiday can you afford? Maybe you can't go all the way to the US. Go to Nepal, go to Bhutan, go to some neighboring country. Maybe go to Sri Lanka, why not? So go where you can, or go within India. India itself has so many wonderful things. We have not, most foreigners see more of India in a few months than you and I will see in our whole life. They come and one after the other, they go to place after place, right? So there's so much in our own country to see. So like this, you check within your capacity of what your savings are and what your body is allowing you to do. You do that, and you'll find it's a beautiful. What's really bugging you is the concept you picked up from somewhere about what your retirement is supposed to look like.
Wow, beautiful.
Lakshmi.
Yeah, thank you. There's one smaller question. So,
Yeah.
you also said that thoughts create any experience. For an example,
Any
I had
experience.
had a mental tear. So, some days when I walk nicely, I do thank my leg. Every day I thank.
Mhm.
But I say, थोड़े दिन से पैर दर्द ठीक हो गया लगता है. Sure enough, that night that leg pain will be much more intense. So, how do I train my leg? This is funny, but it is true. That's
Yeah, I
why.
mean, I would say your question is in a way trying to control. Give me a way to control this. I don't have any way in which you can control this. You're saying, tell me a way to say this that my leg doesn't pain. No, it'll pain when it pains, and it'll not pain when it doesn't pain. And that is the nature of the body. That's what the body does. And so there, I don't have any tricks like this where I can. The way I have dealt with this is I have made peace with the fact that some parts of my body will be healthy, some parts of my body will sometimes struggle, and my body overall has an intent. If I listen to my body, if I listen to it when it wants to move, I let it move. When it wants to rest, I let it rest. When it's hungry, I let it eat. When it's thirsty, I let it drink. When it wants to be outdoors, I let it be outdoors. I do these basic things, and the body actually is communicating. बहुत बैठ गए उठो, बहुत उठ गए बैठ जाओ. बहुत TV देख लिया सो जाओ अब. Your body is telling you, come on guys, it's telling all of us. We don't listen. And then we want to control it. If I say this affirmation, if I do this method, if I do this visualization, why? Let the body manage itself. And yes, at some point, it may happen that your ability to walk or stand may reduce a bit. Work within those constraints. There's no problem. There was a very beautiful way someone said it to me. He said that as we grow older, most of us, eyesight will diminish, hearing will diminish, even taste. Your ability to taste will diminish. So all the sense doors are becoming more and more diminished. And instead of looking at this as a negative thing, he said, one last chance nature is giving you to become antarmukhi. पूरा जीवन चला गया बहिर्मुखी. देखना है, सुनना है, चखना है, सूंघना है, करना है. पूरा जीवन निकल गया looking. One last chance nature is, okay, now you can't see so much. Okay, now you can't hear so much. Now you can't taste so much. You can't smell so much. You can't do so much. So now it's just this. So see it in a positive light. So within the field of what you can see and hear and do and what you're capable of, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no mistake. If you see it like that, this will be. So I don't call this aging. I call this saging. So this is how you sage. No more aging for you, only saging. You're at peace with your condition. You're not comparing it to how it should have been. All right. Are we complete, Lakshmi?
Beautiful. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. All right. So just also, Leonel, in terms of time, how are we doing before we?
We have some time with us left. We've got
All right. So let's go. I think let's go from Vivek till Neha, and maybe if Shiva had a question, and then I think with that we can probably close. So Vivek, let's go ahead.
Hello, Nithya, good morning.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Vivek.
Ever grateful to you. I've been in touch with you since last, I think, many years. I had a question with respect to my anxiety. Even though I think I've found the answers in bits and pieces. Over the years, the anxiety has increased. I've tried everything. I've attended your sessions also. And your sayings also, I keep on just repeating to myself. But still, the anxiety doesn't go away, whether it's I've tried mindfulness or meditation. And this has led to, I think, sleeplessness and insomnia. What do you recommend?
So you have some pet topics which make you anxious?
No, it's actually generalized anxiety.
So is it like us? And just I don't want to get too specific, but because this is also a public forum. But is it like what is the generalized thought in all your different anxieties? Or what's going to happen? Is that the kind of thought, or I'm not good enough, or what exactly is the thought?
The thought is that I'm having anxiety. Always the mind keeps on saying that I have the anxiety. I have some anxiety. I have some anxiety.
Yeah. And then the next thought is, how do I come out of this? Or I can't come out. What is the
Yes,
next thought after that?
exactly. I'm not able to come out of this. I've tried everything. I've tried mindfulness. I've
Yeah.
tried homeopathic. I've tried
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah. This is
I've
similar to when
tried.
Harsh was speaking earlier. Yeah.
Yes. I've tried. I keep on saying the phrases which you tell. It is the way it is, and that's the way it is, and peace is found in acceptance, and the other sayings also. But nothing is
I'll
helping me
tell
out.
you, there's a Zen teaching which is very appropriate for you.
Ji.
So let's say you've gone to a Zen master, right? Instead of talking to me, you go to the Zen master. You make a big journey all the way to Japan. You meditate for 1 month, and you go to the Zen master and you ask exactly this question that you asked me. And the Zen master looks into your eyes and says, Vivek, you are suffering because you imagine there is a way out. You're imagining something will do it for you. Some mindfulness will do it for you. Some affirmation will do it for you. So in your case, it's not a problem. It's a fact. In your case, I know I'm sounding very negative, but there's something here. In your case, it's not a problem. A problem can be solved, but you've tried everything you know. You've tried mindfulness, you've tried everything I share, you've tried other people's things, sharings, and it hasn't gone. When it's not a problem, it's a fact. And when it's a fact, that's just the way it is. When it's raining, it's just raining, right? No, it shouldn't be raining, but it is raining. What are you going to do, right? People get upset when they're invested in something. Let's say you're invested in, let's say there's a company called, ABCD. And the stock market of ABCD goes all the way up. Then your mood also goes all the way up. And the stock market falls sharply. Then your mood also falls. Why does it fall sharply? Because you're invested in ABCD company. If you're not invested in ABCD company, it makes no difference what happens to that stock price, whether it goes up or down. Think about it. You're only impacted. And by the way, the news also, just notice, it's very interesting. Recently, India and Pakistan had a bit of a war-like situation many months back. Everybody got very activated. Why? Because it's a neighboring country, because it impacts us, because we have relatives living in Rajasthan and Punjab and those border areas in Kashmir. That's why it bothered us. Otherwise, it would not have bothered us. It bothered proximity. If you're invested, when you're invested, then you're going to be affected. To the extent you're identified, you will be crucified. It's a fact. It's a fact. You have anxiety. Chances are, no matter what I say, there will still be anxiety. No matter what you practice, there will still be anxiety. So like with Harsh earlier, I want you to go 2 levels deep. What's the 2 levels deep? Stop imagining there's a way out. Stop imagining there's a way out. You're obsessing with it. Yes, there's anxieties are fine, but you still have to wash your face, brush your teeth, maybe have some breakfast, put on your clothes. Focus on that. Let this be background noise. You keep thinking, how do I come out of this? How do I come out of this? Maybe you can't come out of this. When you've tried everything, the only thing left to try is to stop trying. Your trying is what's bugging you. Your trying is what's affecting you. The trying is what's disturbing you. So again, like with many people, this is... Go ahead, Vivek. Where are you right now?
Yes, Nithya.
So again, I just want you to stop to whatever extent you can. Stop telling the story that I'm so anxious, I'm so anxious, I'm so anxious. So theek hai, you're anxious now, but you're also other things. What are you good at, for example? What is something you do well?
I'm other than being anxious, I'm good at everything. Whether it's the professional life, I'm doing very
You're
good.
also good at being anxious.
I'm actually a fitness freak.
There
I do
you go,
cycling
right?
for 60 kilometers. I've tried everything, as I told you.
In
terms of
real estate, finish what you're saying.
in all other spheres of my life, I'm doing exceedingly well. except
Okay.
this one. That's it.
No, I don't. Here also, you're doing exceedingly well. You're excellent at being anxious. None of us can, even Harsh, the other Harsh over here, he can't be as anxious as you, I'm sure. If you have a competition, I think you'll win that competition. So you're good at being anxious. You're excellent at being anxious. You're probably a world champion at being anxious. Let's find you the Olympics of anxiety. You'll probably win the gold medal over there, right? But jokes apart, what I'm saying is in real estate, the real estate agents know one thing. There's no such thing as a perfect house. Every house, in the process of its making, there'll be some mistake or the other. There'll be some error, some either direction is off, or this is off, or the sunlight, or something is off every house, either in the way it's built or the something. There's always some problem. There has to be. But you know what good real estate agents do? They don't market that as a problem. They will market that as a feature.
Mhm.
You have to make, this is not, what I'm trying to say is, this is not a disability in you. This is a feature of you. And I would even go so far as to say, it could be that the reason you're so good in all these other fields is connected to your anxiety. You know, people who succeed a lot tend to be a little insecure and anxious. Very contented, happy people don't become that successful and don't even become that knowledgeable. They don't need to, they're just happy, right? People who are unsettled are the ones who go and accomplish big things in this world. So how I think that if you take away the anxiety, maybe the other excellence you have in other areas of life will also collapse. So I'm saying pay the bloody price. Pay the price of your anxiety and then go ahead and live your excellent life. But you have to pay the price of anxiety. You're saying, no, मुझे price भी नहीं pay करना है, मुझे excellence भी चाहिए. In your case, it can't happen, Vivek. It's a fact. You are anxious is a fact. It's not a problem, is what I'm saying.
Sure. I think I got it. Right.
Beautiful. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Vivek. Let's go to Shilpi.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead, Shilpi.
I'm attending the session for the first time. Thank you
Uh-huh.
for letting me speak.
Yes.
I actually wanted your advice on how to come out of the feeling of, failure, hopelessness, or being lost or not knowing your purpose. I've been dealing with such situations for after my accident, and it was almost like I died. But thanks, God saved me. But I lost my voice. From voice, I would like to say my singing voice because I was a singer. And not able to sing, it hurts me a lot because I was a creative person. I liked singing. And I am also a teacher where I need to speak well. I was into public speaking and soft skills also. Now, when I hear my voice, I really feel hurt. Some people tell me that you're depressed after accident and all of that. I wasn't a person like this. And currently I am facing a lot of challenges in believing myself that I can do it. I always feel like no matter what I take up in future, I'll not be able to complete it. Either I'm learning foreign languages also, but I dropped it. Then is it because of this accident I'm feeling this way, or I've hit a rock bottom? I don't know. And since biological clock is also ticking, then people tell me, oh, you should become a mother, you will feel good. But I don't know if I'll be a good mother. I don't know if I want a child, or I need to be mentally fit first, then to give life to a new person. So I have everything. I have a good husband. I have good life. And but the purpose to live and enjoy life has vanished. I somehow don't know how to come out of this situation. Just an advice I would like. Thank you.
This is called grieving. Grieving is when you either had a person, or like in your case, it was your voice, your public speaking, your personality. And now that's gone. At least it's not the same the way it used to be, right?
Yes.
And the word for this is grieving. We're grieving. You're going through a state of grieving. And the neurobiological understanding of grieving is very interesting. It's called neural pruning. What is neural pruning? There were cells in your brain that were connected. So your identity was connected with singing, public speaking, being a certain kind of a person. That was your identity. That was literally the structure in your brain. And now because of this accident, and that's gone, you can't sing the same way. You can't, your voice has changed. Other things have changed. Your identity is going through a change. So this is known as neural pruning. What is pruning? Earlier connections are breaking, new connections are forming. And that is a painful process, not only for you, Shilpi, for all of us. When we experience grief, maybe it's you thought you'd get into that college you didn't get in. You thought you'll get married to that person, you didn't get married. You thought you'll live in that city, you didn't live. Whatever, we all have our own version of this. Or of course, the most common one is a loved one dies. And then that imagined future is now no longer available. That imagined future is gone.
Correct.
And now our brain has to now make sense of this. What the hell is going on? I thought I was going to sing. I thought I was going to do this. I can't do that anymore. So this is a difficult process for all of us. You're not the only one. So what I want to tell you, first of all, this is very natural and normal what you're experiencing. This is called neural pruning. Your brain is trying to make sense of this. So don't try to rush the process. Give yourself
my
time.
husband also tells
give
me
yourself.
that you have
You
to
can't rush
accept
this
it.
process. You have to go through this, and I'm telling you, it may look like a terribly dark time. Arey kuch nahi hai, koi meaning nahi hai. In one way it is, but it's adding depth. Earlier you had width in your life. You had these talents, you were happy-go-lucky, you were carefree. But I'm sorry to say, Shilpi, you were very shallow. Because God gave you the ability, or whatever life gave you the ability to sing or to speak in a particular way, a certain personality. अरे वो तो आपको दे दिया ना. Somehow life gave that to you. आपने क्या किया है उसके लिए? It was just given to you. So now it was given, it's been taken away. So now you're forced to find a deeper sense of who am I? I thought I was my singing. I thought I was my personality. I thought I was all of this. But looks like, no, that can be taken away. If it can be taken away, how can that be central to who you are? That cannot be central to who you are. So even though this looks like a dark process, it's a process of self-discovery. It's a process of deepening. And I would say, don't try to rush this process. And definitely don't this advice of go get a kid. It's a very silly advice. We should be very careful who we take advice from. You should even be careful taking advice from me, first of all. But anybody, you should be careful taking advice from other people. Because they themselves haven't figured out where they are and they're busy trying to tell you. So no, you go through this. I'm going to tell you from my perspective, this is an important phase in your life. You will meet me 2-3 years from today and you tell me, Nithya, you were so right. This was an important phase in my life. I discovered new things about myself. My way of understanding of life changed. My priorities changed. But you can't rush this process. So the simple thing is be natural. Whatever comes naturally, if you're learning something, if your languages or whatever, if you want to take it up again, just go through your life naturally. I would even say go through it mechanically. Normally people don't like this word mechanical. I think, no, be mechanical about it. When you're in this state, be mechanical. Eat your food, go to sleep, take care of your basic bodily functions, do whatever you have to do in the home. Be bloody mechanical. It's okay. It's not going to last forever. Very soon, a light will come. Right now, the reason you're stressed, most of it is you're putting pressure on yourself. Oh, I used to. Take that out, and it's quite simple, actually. Notice my answers to all of you today are the same. Your images of how you should be, how life should be, where you should be, those images are what's bugging you. Life is not bugging you. Life is actually very kind. Life is beautiful. Your images are what's bugging you. This is true for even the people who not asked a question today, because either you're shy or whatever. That's the answer to your question. Your ideas about life are what's troubling you. Life is not troubling you. Life is very kind. Or the nice way of saying this, one of my teachers says, reality is kinder than the stories we tell. So yeah, Shilpi, this is, we can't answer why this has happened to you or what's going to come up next. But I would just say, trust the process. Let's complete with you. Say something before we end.
Actually, I'm happy with whatever advice you have given me.
Yes.
It's the thing that you said about gain versus gap. I wrote it down.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think I should focus more on the gain. And
Yes.
when I think about gain, I see that जहाँ से स्टार्ट किया था उससे तो बुरे कंडीशन में मैं आ गई हूँ. तो अभी गेन क्या है मेरा?
हाँ, तो
तो
एक तरह से तो हाँ, एक तरह से बुरे बुरे कंडीशन में आ गए हैं, पर हर तरह से नहीं, क्योंकि ये जो आपकी डीपनिंग हो रही है, देखिए, लाइक सी यू वर आल्सो वेरी हैप्पी, आई मीन आई एम जस्ट गेसिंग, यू कैन टेल मी, but the fact that your identity was so mixed up with your voice and your public speaking and your personality, you were not in touch with your beingness, right? Now this is forcing you to look at life in a deeper way. If it can be taken away from you and it can disturb you so much, then how can that be the core of who you are? You never knew the core of who you are. So this
it
is an opportunity
started
to know
when
the core of who you
people
are.
actually started mocking me because of my voice. वो मुझे ज़्यादा affect किया. They
तो
were like
ठीक है, वो
क्या
तो
या तो मुझे
लोग
लगा कि
करेंगे
एक
वो
टाइम
सब.
पे लोग इतना तारीफ करते थे कि आपकी वॉइस
हाँ,
ऐसी है
सही
वैसी
बात.
है. एंड आई यूज्ड टू सिंग वेल. एंड मुझे कुछ करियर नहीं बनाना था सिंगिंग में. इट वाज आई वाज हैप्पी विद व्हाट इट इज. मैं सुर में गा रही हूँ, मुझे खुद को अच्छा लगता था. नाउ व्हेन आई सिंग पीपल अरे चुप हो जा. It was like it affects me a lot and it hurts my sentiments. People don't understand it. It does. But
आप
that is
बाथरूम में
fine.
गाइए ना. आई एम ऑल्सो अ बाथरूम सिंगर. आप भी बाथरूम सिंगर बन जाइए. बाथरूम में कोई नहीं कुछ
Uh,
गाएगा आपको.
so I'm going through speech therapy and all, and I
तो
believe it
ठीक
will
है,
come back.
आप करिए.
I hope so.
It's all right. See, this too much reliance on, like I said earlier, सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग. लोगों ने आपको उठा दिया और लोगों ने आपको पटक दिया. तो यही होने वाला है हम सबके साथ. इसे कहते हैं लोक धम्मा. What is loka dhamma? Ups and downs of life. You will have these 8 ups and downs in your life: gain and loss, happiness and sorrow, good reputation, bad reputation, praise and blame. The 8 dhammas. We all have to go through these. So yes, you're going through a phase where people are criticizing you, they're blaming you. Your reputation may not be as good. All right. That's the gain. You're going through a loss. You're going through the lower parts of the loka dhammas. But remember one thing: anicca, impermanent. This is not permanent. यह भी बदल जाएगा. It's not going to stay forever. Right? Don't force it. It'll happen. It has
एक
to change.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन था सर मेरा. I
Briefly,
am extending it. आप कुछ ऑटो इम्यून इश्यूज के बारे में रीजंस बता सकते हैं वो क्यों होता है? Because I'm suffering from one
Reason
of that.
is
Autoimmune issues.
the reason is birth. The reason for all our
Okay.
diseases is birth. हम लोग पैदा हो गए हैं, तो कुछ ना कुछ होता रहेगा. But you speak to someone who is knowledgeable about this. One thing people say is it has to do with our own thoughts against ourselves. So autoimmune, you know, your body is fighting itself. So you check where in your life are you fighting against yourself, blaming yourself, and you see if that has any connection with it. All right. My best wishes, Shilpi. Let's go to Harsh.
Oh, yes, sir. Actually, I was in a bit of hurry because the way helper thi and I'm alone at home. So related to my question, you told ke stop giving importance to your anxiety and start feeling fully to it. But जब भी ये करता हूँ, back of the mind there are lot of thoughts racing and rushing.
Yeah.
And similar, one of the participant told कि he practices yoga and मैं भी सब कर रहा हूँ, योगा करता हूँ,
हाँ जी,
breathwork करता
हाँ जी,
हूँ,
हाँ जी.
but something I feel is off. Something I feel I'm not learning from it. And I'm also doing. I also did that Astro Chakra meditation. Meditation on my Mool Chakra, and Sacral Chakra, and my body started jerking. And then I did for 3 weeks, and then I asked my teacher, तो उन्होंने बोला अभी ब्रेक लो, तुम्हारा बॉडी सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा है.
आप,
So
मेरे लगता है
again,
आप बहुत ज्यादा कर रहे हो. आप बहुत ज्यादा कर रहे हो, बहुत ज्यादा मेडिटेशन कर रहे हो, योगा कर रहे हो, ईएफटी कर रहे हो, ज्यादा ही कर लिया आपने. तो इसी एंग्जाइटी से ठीक करने के ज्यादा उसी को आपको एंग्जाइटी आ रही है इन सब चीजों से.
okay.
It's okay. See, what I'm trying to say, Harsh, I don't know how many people will tell this to you in your life. So let me tell it to you. from my position, you have no problem, right? 99 people say, no, you're anxious, you have this disorder, whatever. I'm here to you have no problem. This is the way you are right now. This is the way you are right now. That is the truth. No, but I should be, but I could be, but I used to be, but my friends are, but but this is the way you are right now. And that's the truth. And everything else you're telling me is a fantasy. How I should be, how I could be, if I do this, if I do that. इतना कुछ कर रहे हो आप. मैं तो कहूंगा कि कोई भी आपके जितना करेगा तो वो तो एंग्शियस हो ही जाएगा. Maybe again, if I do your yoga and your Muladhara Chakra meditation, I'm also going to become anxious. I'll come to you and say, Harsh, help me. I'm getting anxious now. You're doing too much. You're disturbing your natural state. और आप कह रहे हो कि उसके पीछे थॉट्स चल रहे हैं. तो मैं आपसे पूछूंगा उस थॉट्स के पीछे क्या चल रहा है. तो देखेंगे कुछ नहीं चल रहा है, बस शांति है वहां पर. मेरा नाम नित्य शांति है, बड़ा अच्छा नाम है मेरा. क्या मतलब है नित्य शांति? द पीस दैट नेवर चेंजेस. आप कभी गए हो मूवी थिएटर में? मूवी देखी है आपने? पिक्चर देखी होगी. तो पिक्चर में तो बहुत कुछ चल रहा है पिक्चर में. पर पिक्चर जिस स्क्रीन के ऊपर है, उस स्क्रीन पे क्या चल रहा है? स्क्रीन तो बस स्क्रीन है, कुछ नहीं चल रहा है. Screen is just the way it is. So my question for you is, listen to the question carefully. It's a powerful question. What is the screen on which the movie of Harsh's life is projected on? What is the screen on which the movie, you're a movie character. So, you've not chosen this movie. You've not chosen this role. You've not chosen these settings. Somehow you have these settings. So what is the screen on which the movie of Harsh's life is projected? Yes, Harsh is anxious. I'm not denying Harsh is anxious. Yes, Harsh is anxious. Is that screen anxious? Nope. The screen just is. That's the meaning of Nithya Shanti. The screen just is. I'm not claiming to always be peaceful, guys. I also get anxious. I also get upset. When my wife tells me I have parking anxiety, when I go, then I start parking. She's like, relax, you'll find parking. For parking. Your parking anxiety is kicked in. My name is Nithya Shanti, but I get parking anxiety. Then we always find parking, but I'm like, parking. So my setting is parking anxiety, right? So I'm also anxious. But if I say, Harsh, I've got parking anxiety disorder, now I'm going to make a problem. Okay, it is what it is, right? For whatever reason, I get more anxious about parking than some other people. All right, so what? That's the movie. That's the setting for whatever reason. Genetic, biological, historical, psychological, physiological, who knows? Cultural, who knows? That's the setting. Fighting with your setting is creating the upsetting. You are at war with your settings.
Okay.
Finish what you're saying.
if I live it, so but with time it can change. मतलब थोड़ा तो centeredness तो चाहिए decisions making में. It has affected my career.
आप बिल्कुल अच्छी तरह से बात कर रहे हो. मुझे कोई problem नहीं लग रही. Twice you've come on today. You explained yourself very clearly. You are very centered. You stayed on this call. I mean, imagine it's been, I don't know how long has it been? More than 2 hours maybe. You stayed on this call for 2 hours. That's very centered. Anxious person cannot stay on the call for 2 hours. I was expecting you to drop off the call the moment I answered your question. You've come a second time. And you're not an anxious person, as far as I'm concerned. So I may be the 1% who's going to tell you this. You're completely normal. And you will remain the way you are. And it's not a problem. And you don't need to compare yourself to the rest of the world to decide how good or bad you are. And let me be the only one who tells you. Let all the psychologists disagree with me, psychiatrists disagree with me. Let them do it. It doesn't matter. Because I know that's the truth. The truth is you are as you are.
Okay.
Good. See, my name used to be Harsh. I don't know how many of you know. My name used to be Harsh. So from Harsh, I've become Nithya Shanti. So आप भी Harsh से Nithya Shanti बन जाओगे. You achieve your inner Shanti now. All right? Good. Priya, go ahead. And Lionel, please manage the timer. Let us know when we're done. Yeah. Priya, go ahead.
Nithya, we'll take Priya and Neha as the last, as you said.
I like it.
All right. And because we're nearly.
Yeah, go ahead. I like you. Priya, go ahead. Can't hear you. Let's come back to Priya. Let's go to Neha, and maybe Anu will get a chance.
Hi, thank you so much, sir. I think, I mean, I do understand of all the conversations that I've heard so far in terms of how you're directing all of us to the concept of just be. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
But so, and in the background to this, I'd add, no matter how successful you are, or no, all of us are in our own ways, there's this perpetual underlying need of feeling loved, being validated, being assured by especially your loved ones, your parents, your siblings, if you're in a relationship, then by a partner. And when you don't get that, there's this whole vicious cycle of getting into this immense amount of self-doubt, again, with the background, no matter how successful you are, how great you're doing in your life otherwise, but you just keep on slipping into this whole slide of doubting your self-worth, not understanding, should you even be? I mean, what is it all worthy about? So, and I can I tell you something very honestly, just to add to this, I'm doing quite well, like I said, everyone else. Because I wanted to fight with my own self-belief, I left everything for a year. Like, I quit my job, like, great job. I quit that. I was like, no, I cannot attach my identity to the success of being a CXO in a certain company, like, to hoots. I want to know who I am, and would I be felt loved and respected for the person I am? And I literally did that for a year. The world shows the real colors to you. I'm back into the corporate world, and but and I see, because you're good, maybe you'll get appreciation by the management, the people around, all of that. My trigger of happiness, I get that rush of happiness the minute someone appreciates me, and then otherwise I'm again back into my vicious circle of the self-doubt, because maybe I never got validated from my parents, maybe my brother always thinks that I'm too much of a loud personality, or whatsoever. Maybe I could never get settled because I think my energy levels are too difficult to control. So I don't know, how do I channelize that? I mean, and I do a lot of sadhana, meditation, all that shit, exercise. I'm a fitness fanatic, I would say. So I do my Nitya Puja morning, evening, and it has all helped, by the way. I'm like a lot more controlled right now. But yeah, like, you feel like an outcast and feel unloved, and I get it. No, I want to self-love myself. I want to believe in all that jazz I get, but again, that's
no. I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to self-love or anything. There's actually a teaching by a teacher called Lester Levinson, and he said it in a very beautiful way. He said that we have literally millions of wants and desires. Like, if everybody here was to make a list of their wants and desires, there'd be so many. Some of them will overlap, but there'll be many more, right? He said there are millions and millions, and you could say literally, you could say limitless wants and desires. But if you boil them down, they come to 3 wants. So what was his discovery? There are 3 things we want. We want control, we want approval, and we want safety and security.
Right. Yeah.
So behind all, and the word you used was love, and I would put that somewhere between approval and maybe safety, security. So it's another word for validation, appreciate me, validate me, like me, right? So if you boil down all the wants we have in the world, it comes down to 3 things. We want approval, we want control, we want safety and security. Now, he asked a very beautiful question. He said, would you rather want it, or would you rather have it? In the very wanting of it, you create a lack. Wanting always, the word wanting literally means I don't have. I want water means I'm thirsty. I want approval means I'm not good enough. I'm not sure about myself. We only want things that we assume we don't have or don't have enough of. We never want what we have. After you've eaten your full meal, do you ask for the menu card? Do you ask for, what is, once you've had your full meal, are you interested in food? I noticed, I don't know about you, Neha, but I've noticed when I go shopping, grocery shopping, when I'm hungry, I buy more things. So I've learned maybe I shouldn't go grocery shopping when I'm hungry, right? Because when I'm hungry, I want more. When I go fully fed, I actually buy less stuff when I go grocery shopping. How fascinating. So his powerful question is, would you rather want it or would you rather have it? So I'm going to say, because we are having a Q&A session today, and because you were given this opportunity, that's where your disturbances come from. Actually, this is not bothering you. I actually don't believe it's bothering you. I don't believe you have any problem with any of the things you're saying. I think it's very brave of you to take a year off from work and all of that. But honestly, I think this is a fake question that you're asking. It's a borrowed question. It's not a genuine question. If it's not really your question, actually, you picked it up from somewhere, and you're completely at peace until this question comes up. But what about approval? But am I really being approved for who I am, or is it because of my position? Am I being truly loved for who I am? Am I being validated? Whenever these questions are absent, you're looking for an answer, but I'm saying, no, it's not the answer. Your question itself is the virus. When these questions are absent, notice you're already at peace. You're already loved and validated to fill in the blanks. You're already that. It's the question that's the problem. You don't need an answer to your question. Tell me where you are with this.
I'm processing it because
Yeah.
I still feel I want to be loved by my mother. I want to be
No, you don't want to be
loved.
loved by your mother. You're wanting your love. Your idea of wanting love from your mother is what's keeping you from receiving the love your mother has for you.
Okay.
Because you have a concept of it. You have a concept of what that motherly love is supposed to look like. And that's what's going to mess with you and your mother's relationship for the rest of your life.
And you think that's what is best with me in my
That is going to mess with everything.
relationship with my partners
Everything
as well.
has to be. Always. It's your concept of love. Like somebody earlier was joking about Mills and Boons. We were all laughing. But that's exactly whether you read Mills and Boons or not.
Destroyed. Destroyed me to the core now.
One more person. See, one more
laughing
person.
at
One
it.
more. We should all have a class action suit against Mills and Boons, right? It's messed up everybody. But even if it wasn't Mills and Boons, then you have Bollywood, and then you have all these Netflix, and you have 100 ways in which we are taught this is what it's supposed to look like. And I'm here to tell you, no, it's not. It's supposed to look like the way it looks like for you. I was.
Blind, I can't see it.
No, you don't need to see anything. You are it. You are it. You're imagining it needs to be a particular way.
Okay.
I saw this. There was a video. This guy was talking about dating culture, and he made a very interesting statement. He said, "For years, I tried to put my best foot forward when I would date someone. I tried to dress my best, be my best. Smile more, eye contact. And then it occurred to me, if it takes so much effort for me to impress that person, it's not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable. I mean, at the most, I'll last a week or a month or 2 months. And then I'm only going to get exhausted being that version." So he said, I'm going to dress the way I normally dress. I'm going to talk the way I normally talk. And if the person doesn't like me, fantastic. And I will keep going until I meet the person who likes me exactly the way I am.
But how do you do that with your own family? Sorry.
No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that with your own family. You don't need to do anything with you just be the way you are, and they will love you as much as they love you.
They hate me to the core.
All right. And because you have an image of how it's supposed to, you also have an image of how you're supposed to be and how they're supposed to love you.
Probably.
You have an image of that. Definitely you have an image of that. Without that image of how they're supposed to love you, it's a beautiful dynamic over there. Your family is functional and dysfunctional at the same time, just like all the rest of us.
Correct. Get that.
And out of that functionality and dysfunctionality has come Neha Srivastav with all her amazing and complicated traits. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it will be. What's that nice saying? Don't blame your parents. They also had parents. And now you can keep going backward to the history of kab shuru hua tha, kab ye silsila shuru hua tha. We don't know that.
Correct.
All right. So it's good. Your name contains the word ha in it. So you keep ha in your way. You should not be Neha. You should be Neha ha 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 ha.
So many people have said that because I keep on laughing.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need anything.
Thank you.
All right, Neha. All right, we'll go to Anu and we'll end with that. Sorry, guys, the rest of you. I think it's getting late now. Anu, go ahead. Please unmute. Unmute first. there should be a button somewhere saying unmute. Are you on your phone? On the bottom left or something, they should tap on your phone screen.
If you're getting the pop-up which says unmute, click on it directly. Yeah. No.
There'll be a pop-up that comes saying unmute.
She's getting unmuted, but then it's muting again.
It's getting muted again and again, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Maybe only you do it. Maybe we're both doing. That's why we're probably muting.
No, so I'm not doing anything. So if you see the
Okay.
microphone button down, click on that, and it will allow you to unmute.
Type out what your challenge is, if you can, quickly. What's happening?
Anu, if it's possible, if you could type out your question, we'll take it out from there.
Yeah, you type it out. Let's go to Vinita then. Vinita, go ahead.
Hello. Can you
Vinita,
hear
go
me?
ahead. I can. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm basically from Jamshedpur, staying in Bhubaneswar right now, and I'm joining you for the first time. So I wasn't very sure whether I should be asking you anything in
It's
this
all right.
session.
Go ahead. Please ask.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
ask. It's all right.
yeah. So actually, I have two questions. One is quite related to what I heard for these past 2 hours. And the other one is a little different. I don't think anybody's asked. It is like, why do you dream of people? You know, like you somehow don't feel connected to, you don't want to be connected to, you know, and maybe you haven't had good experiences with them, but they just figure out in your dreams, you know, somewhere you just remember them when you get up in the morning. So that was
You'd
one.
rather not? You'd rather not dream of them?
Rather not. No, I just keep thinking like, is there some deep connection down somewhere, you know? Why do I always, although like they're still there, they're still around. They're basically family somewhere, you know, distant family or maybe someone close also. They're there, but perhaps they've disturbed me enough in my life and I don't want to, you know, think about them, don't talk to them. I've literally stopped talking to them. But then they somehow, I at times feel I do see them in my dreams. And I wonder, is that some kind of a, you know, as they say in Hindi, pichle janam, whatever, you know, you have certain debts which you pay off in this life. Some, you know, karje bache hain mere unke upar, whatever, you know, like something like that. So that was one.
I don't think you need to. Let's finish the first one first. I don't think you need to overthink this. If the dream comes, it comes. If you feel you have to, you know, it's called making amends. Maybe you've done something and you feel you need to say sorry or do something, then do it. And if not, then just, you know, I would just say wish well, mangal ho, sabka mangal ho. You say, what do you say? You know, like Osho used to say this. I love everyone. He used to say, I love everyone, but I like only a few. And I think that's very honest. That's very honest. We can love everyone, but we can't like everyone because our personality is not going to match. I can have good wishes for all of you, but I don't think I can hang out with all of you because my personality will not match with your personality. And you're allowed to, in this lifetime, you're allowed to be more with some people, less with some people. We don't have to have that sense of, oh, it doesn't matter, I can be with anybody, I'll forgive everybody. Not required. You're allowed to have the sense of boundary that you want to have. And let the dreams come for whatever time. Let the dream itself is the processing. I don't think you have to wake up and say, okay, now what further processing is required? The dream itself was the processing.
Right.
Where is she gone? Is she still here? Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah. What's your second question?
Second question is something more related to what I've heard for the past 2 hours. Like it's like I've just 6 months back I've retired, and I was in a very good PSU job. My husband still continues to work, and for another year he's also in a PSU in a higher position. And he's very busy. He keeps himself, I mean, he is busy and he hardly finds time. I have one son who's also started working recently. So I'm kind of left alone in the house the whole day long. And I heard somebody saying that I've retired and I wanted to go here, there. I have no such plans. I've always believed go where life takes you. So I've never planned actually anything for my life. Never. Even in my, like earlier when I did my schooling or when I did my college, I didn't plan for anything. I just listened to my parents. They wanted me to study science, so I studied science. Then I went to a college, they wanted me to go in. I got this job. I was stuck to few things like I want to work and I want to, if you call it, anyway, like I want to get married to an engineer or something like that. These were two things I think I got stuck to. And I did that. I achieved that. So, so ultimately the thing now is that I'm married, happily married. I have a son and I'm happy about it. I've retired, and I always thought when I will retire, I will go into for some social work, something will which will be more meaningful than what I'm doing this day-to-day work in a PSU. Although I basically am from the environment field, so I did a lot. But then I thought that I'm saving my company from the environment rules. Later on, I'll work for the environment rather than saving my company from them. So all these things were very good to think of. But now that I've retired for 6 months, I waited quite patiently, like, okay, I will figure out what I'll do. But somehow I'm not being able to do that. So at times when you're left alone, especially that afternoon period, that's how when I connected to SoulSensei, like I thought, okay, let me find answers here. So that is the lean period in which I'm little apprehensive, you should say.
See,
Not
I think you've lived
anxious, but apprehensive. Yeah.
Why are you changing your mode? Has been a non-planning mode, has been a going with the flow mode, and now you're suddenly trying to change that into a planning mode. It's not working for you. You're stressing
So
yourself
I'm
out.
just waiting. I'm not planning anything. Of course, see, if I
No,
don't
you're
put
not.
in a few.
I don't think you're waiting. I don't think you're waiting. You're living. You have an idea of waiting because
Yeah.
you've picked up this idea. You picked up this idea of something more meaningful. Something. What is meaningful? Your life has been meaningful. You have a family. You have a wonderful marriage. You have a son. You've worked in the public sector. You've done things. That's all meaningful. And don't think that these. I work with a lot of the people in the NGO sector and the all the other sectors. They are also disturbed in their own ways. Uh, in their own ways.
Yeah.
Vinita, right? Your name is Vinita.
Right.
They're also
Vinita,
disturbed.
right.
Don't think that they are suddenly very peaceful and they're doing very. No, they're very disturbed in their own ways. They're disturbed about funding and they're disturbed about the internal politics of their organization, and they're also disturbed. So don't. This is idea that some other thing will make me satisfied is what's bugging you. Actually, you're not waiting. You're living.
I'm kind of trying to. I want to keep myself engaged a little so that I'm not a botheration to my husband, to my son. Like that way. Because if
So
you
start
are
somewhere.
free, you are
Start.
more of a botheration to them, right?
So aap start karo. Don't. Your problem may be perfectionism. What's that perfect thing I can do? Just start
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm a little
Start
perfectionist.
volunteering.
You're right.
I'll give you the challenge. Within the next week, you have to start. Right? You're on this call. You somehow are on this call. Within the next week, you have to just start. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. Doesn't matter if you last there a long time or not. Just start. Just start doing something, and the movement will happen. You're too much in your head. You're someone who's been following the flow. Parents ने बताया कर लिया. एक दो ideas से engineer से शादी करनी है तो हो गई. You've been in public sector. You do what you're told to do, and now suddenly you got it into your head. This is what's bugging you. There's thinking mind and there's working mind. The working mind is when you're in the middle of it, you're the flow of it. That's the working mind. And we're all, every one of you are happy in the working mind. Before you, Neha was talking. Neha is happy in her working mind. Then Neha gets into a thinking mind, and that's what starts bugging her. So, Vinita, your thinking mind is what's bugging you. Your working mind is not bugging you. So, get into the working mind, get into doing something, whatever it is you like doing. And that's it, you're out of your troubles. Good. Let me just briefly answer Anu's question. What is Anu's question? Long thing to summarize. It's okay to choose self-love over family responsibilities. Not ignoring, just completing as a chore. And also how to control anger. Not acting later and regretting later. Okay. Why do you want validation? Why do you need validation from me? You're going through a process. Maybe you were a person who gave a lot to the family, and it got imbalanced. And now the balancing is, okay, bahut ho gaya, now I need to also take care of myself. I need to focus on my interests. And you're calling it self-love, but maybe it's just balancing that's happening. And yes, anger is needed sometimes in family relationships. Otherwise, your voice, you speak kindly, calmly, you're just ignored. So sometimes it's called a fierce conversation. Our relationships will sometimes take fierce conversations. Why? Because the earlier, the earlier settings, the agreements are not working anymore. What everyone took for granted is just not working anymore. So, all right, we will get upset. We will raise our voice because otherwise no one's listening. And I don't think that's a problem. I think that's what you're calling anger is an attempt to create a deeper connection, a more meaningful connection, because the earlier settings were not working. So I don't think it's a problem, and I don't think you need to beat yourself up. And yes, you will, and of course you will learn if you overdo it, it'll hurt you, it'll hurt your emotions, it'll hurt your sleep, it'll hurt you. So you will have to find a good way that how can I be firm, and at the same time, how can I not necessarily, ruin my relationships? I don't have to burn my bridges in the process, right? So I think you're going through a process. For me, reading, of course, I don't know the details of your question, but for me, this is a recalibration that's happening. Somewhere the old Anu, the way she was operating, for too long, she just went with that, and something got very dried up, became like a desert. Maybe you were neglecting some very important aspects of yourself. So yeah, you're waking up to that, and maybe there's an anger that comes with that, and a ferocity that comes with that. It's not a negative thing. Our goddesses in India, they have all weapons in their hand, and their tongues are hanging out, and all of that, and we pray to them. So that is the ferocity. There is a Devi Shakti within you and all of us. Sometimes that Devi Shakti will wake up and it has to destroy everything before the next thing has to be born, right? So I would say this is a part of your process, and it may not be pleasant, but you have to be honest with yourself. And the balance for you will be, how can I be honest with myself and to myself without necessarily, there will be a resettling of relationships that happen, but can I not go overboard with it? Can I keep myself in the balanced state? Because ultimately you're doing it for your own well-being and for the larger well-being of everyone connected to you. I think if you go with that attitude, then it'll all come into balance. It'll all be fine. And I'd like to say rule number 6, which is a good thing to end today's call on. What is rule number 6? Don't take life so seriously. Remember to smile, remember to laugh. And then when people hear this, they say, oh, that's such a good rule, Nithya. Tell us the other 5 rules also. And then I say, there are no other rules. There are no other rules. Then why is it called rule number 6? Don't take life so seriously. It's just called rule number 6. Like that. So I think on that note, that we remember rule number 6, which is to remember to smile and laugh and not take ourselves so seriously. I'll hand it back to Lionel.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Nithya. It was such a beautiful, insightful session. And thank you to everyone for your questions, your participation. It does mean a lot. And it's nice to see so many of you out here in such large numbers. Unfortunately, we have to still go ahead and continue with the ongoing session. So please do see you join in other sessions. And thank you for being here on this session. And please download the SoulSensei app, check the website, follow us on Instagram at your SoulSensei, where you'll find a lot of information of our leaders in upcoming sessions. With that said, I see you all in another upcoming session. Until then, take care, thank you, and goodbye.
Thanks, Lionel. Thanks, everyone. And until next time.